down where we're looking, so that should help. Does he cover most of the bay, or is he more focused?
A lot of his stuff was more like South Bay, but he did the legwork on getting to know like South City for us.
Okay, well, we're mostly looking South Bay anyways.
Yeah, so like, if there's an area he doesn't know, he does his homework, and he does his homework well. So, like, if it's South Bay, it's like in his wheelhouse. He's like from Saratoga.
Yeah, would he do South LA?
We're looking South Bay.
Bro, wrong Bay.
South Bay, got him.
Right?
Different Bay.
Yeah.
We're the shot.
I know people from high school sell real estate down there, but I can't vouch for their professional abilities.
my cousin
dudes in high school.
So my cousin works in Orange County, but he's a real estate agent. So
dudes,
dudes
and dudettes. The Tasha's
definitely
guide came out today.
Looking at OC.
Oh shit! I need to buy that.
We have that pre-ordered. You have to pick it up from Game Castle.
We have, I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered. Hopefully, we'll get the special edition physical, and then the digital ones I got on Roll20. But
yeah, speaking of,
he buys both.
Ooh, yeah, interesting. Clockwork Soul. Okay, so I know this is the one that I was interested.
Why don't y'all share it on Roll20? I don't understand.
It's difficult.
Because that's communism.
I mean, we do and we don't. But
we share it in the sense of when we start a game, you can use anything from it.
Yeah.
Like Kate's is for her game as well. Is actually she was the one who actually bought it. I'm just like, yeah, sure, if you want.
For like Roll20 or for
like a physical copy.
Yeah. So interesting. So now the Phantom is now the new rogue. This is the one that Derpy is probably going to be. Oh gosh, I love how the description immediately is like, many Shader Kai of the Shadowfell are masters of the Phantom rogue.
I'm not going to be Shader Kai. Again.
What was the monk subclass? Was that the Astral Fist thing?
Yes. So there's the Way of Mercy and Way of the Astral Self.
Mercy, that sounds weak.
The Way of Mercy is actually interesting. Monks of the Way of Mercy learn to manipulate the life forces of others to bring aid to those in need. They are wandering physicians. Oh my god, the image. Holy shit. Look at the stream.
Yep, one moment.
Oh, it's like Athletic Dieter.
Yeah, it's Dieter.
Yo,
that's super cool. No,
the concept does seem neat.
Yeah, look at the description though. So it's like they bring aid to those in need. They are wandering physicians to the poor and the hurt. However, to those beyond their help, they bring a swift end as an act of mercy. Holy shit!
That's pretty cool.
Damn.
Although not the theme I'm going for, but that's a neat one.
I was like 2 months too early. That.
That's crazy.
Bro, you're just a beta tester and hiding it from us.
Hey, you can always multi-class. That's a thing.
Oh, so something that's really cool that they added in here, which is, I mean, this was probably already like homebrew rules for most people, but check this out. They actually are like, you can do changing your subclass.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just they're like, okay, cool. Just have some. It just gives ideas, which makes sense. So there's interesting things where it's like. They're just they're just straight up like with your DM's approval, you can change your subclass when you would normally gain a new subclass feature. If you decide to make this change, choose another subclass that belongs to your class and replace all of your old subclass features with the feature of the new subclass. So then it just says training time. To change your subclass, the DM might require you to spend some time devoted to the transition. Cool. But then there's also this one that's cool, like sudden change. And this makes sense. An Oath of Devotion Paladin failed to stop a demonic horde from ravaging the homeland, so now they're Oath of Vengeance. A wizard lies down for a nap beneath an oak tree whose roots reach into the Feywild. In his dreams, he faces visions of multiple possible futures. When he awakens, his subclass features are now School of Divination. Like, that's cool. It's just basically... I actually really like this. I think Tasha's is...
flexibility, yeah.
Yeah, I've read a lot of the interviews and stuff on Tasha's, and it's basically saying, like, this is more or less D&D 5.5. Not redoing the core like D20, the core D20 features and stuff like that. But
the framework's there, but they're adding more features to the.
Yes, this is like so the thing with like Xanathar's got everything added more like player features or like player subclasses and stuff. And it added some stuff with like, oh, here's some ideas for backgrounds for your characters and and added also some other interesting things that like that's where all the skill proficiencies came in with like your toolkits. Where it was like, in order to do a forgery, you can do a DC, like a DC 15 thing. Like, here's what you can actually do with some of those things. But yeah, so now this one actually has a whole chapter or a whole section on Session 0, which is really cool.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, normalizing it.
Sidekicks are now officially in this. So you have expert spellcaster and warrior sidekicks, a whole part on parlaying with monsters, environmental hazards and supernatural regions, magical phenomena. This one I've looked at, and it actually is pretty interesting. There's one in here that is where's the picture of it? This one, haunted manor, infested. Oh, that's super. Like, these are like almost like chuckles, like afflictions. Oh no, what are they called? What are the mods on Mythic Plus Dungeons?
Oh, the affixes. Yeah,
they're like that. So it's like infested, an infested world,
Mm-hmm.
versus like, and then it has encounters
like
for those.
So it's like a systematic theme and mechanical addition to it.
Mirror zone. A mirror zone occurs where planetary and magical energies converge to create a place of reflections.
Oh god.
But where's my favorite one?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, psychic resonance. No, where's the one that I read up on? Unraveling magic. Oh, come on. Wait.
Ooh, wait. Was that an expanded wild magic table that I just saw?
Far Realm.
Under the unraveling magic, I swear that was it expanded.
This?
I thought that was
this
expanded.
is effects. So it's basically consider rolling on any roll on unraveling magic effects table when the following circumstances occur. Any charges are expanded on a magical item. A spell slot first level or higher is expended. A dragon, fey, or elemental of challenge.
Okay, this is straight up a thing in like that I was doing in my world.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like the Mana Storm stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Speaking of, I need to get working on the.
Speaking of wild magic, I put too much Sichuan into this.
I'm not.
I'll be rolling on a table later, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, baby.
You just got done.
1 to 40
come on.
My memory is very short, and my
it's like-
hunger is many.
It's just like, oh yeah, I just got done with my body rejecting what I put in it. Let me put something in my body that it's gonna reject.
Nah, I'm feeling back to normal. This is really not bad.
No, look at this.
Pretty bland. Relative.
Magical phenomena, eldritch storms.
Look at the skulls in the sky. That's so cool.
That is.
That's great.
How do you open up the book on Roll20?
So you go to you have to go to the main Roll20 thing, and you go to Tools Compendium, and it should be in there.
Gotcha. Tools.
Magic mushrooms. This is it. Look at this. Mimic colonies.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
Oh, the entire.
Oh no!
Dude, the potted plants.
Wait. Are the people mimics?
Mimics imitate terrain and dungeon dressings to hunt for food. Rare specimens develop a deeper understanding of the world and can. Dude, this is what's his name?
Yeah.
Fucking chest that was the mimic that you guys had at Troll Skull.
Oh yeah. I forgot his name already, but yeah, that dude.
Steve.
It was Steve. Yeah, it literally was Steve.
Steve.
Hell yeah. Fucking Steve.
Who's fucking Steve?
Who is
Steve's
fucking
wife,
Steve?
Someone lucky.
That's a
It's a
dangerous move.
That's so cool. Yeah. Primal. What? A primal fruit? Aw.
Oh, there's no kitties with wings.
Rock the
Yo.
fruit.
That's
It's fucking.
That's what's his name? That's Slobberchops, but a cuter
Slobberchops.
version. That doesn't look like it doesn't look like it saw shit.
Cuter than Slobberchops. How dare you?
Mhm. Unearthly Road. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm gonna be excited to read through this. It adds a lot of fun. It adds like bigger stuff. I don't know. Xanathar's was like a really good first hot take on how to add more to like your DM arsenal. But this one, there's a lot of stuff too. Like in terms of like more shit for your classes and things.
5.5 assessment's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Oh, there's also how do I close tab and make tab come back? Okay. There's something in here that's actually really the other thing that's really cool is the patrons. So you basically can have, like, an example patron is like a aristocrat or a criminal syndicate or a guild. So you can, like, say, yeah, there's the Xanathar.
Oh, you got
like,
sugar daddies, basically.
Yeah, it's basically sugar daddies.
Oh, not like a warlock patron.
No, like your group's patron. Yeah, like a funder for your group.
Yep.
Personalized spells, magical items, new feats. Chef feat is one.
I remember we previewed that.
Yeah, customizing your origin. Yes,
I tell chef is also in the same list as gunner.
Yeah,
you could either learn.
Yes. Okay,
also, I don't know if anyone else. When I saw the winged cats, I just thought of this asshole from Fairy Tale. If anyone's watched that.
No, but okay, cool.
Winged cat. That's just where my brain went.
This is
I've been looking for a fucking.
Someone's a weeb.
So this is the part, by the way, that is actually the biggest. I think one of the biggest changes. It's like small but really big. Ability score increases. Whatever race you choose for your character, you get a trait called ability score increase. This increase reflects the archetypal bit of excellence in the adventures of this kind in D&D's past. For example, if you're a dwarf, your constitution increases by 2, yada yada. This increase doesn't apply to every dwarf, just to dwarf adventurers, and exists to reinforce an archetype. That reinforcement is appropriate if you want to lean into that archetype, but it is unhelpful if your character doesn't conform to the archetype. If you like your character to follow their own path, you may ignore your ability score increase trait, and assign ability scores increase tailored to your character.
Ooh,
so
I like it.
Yeah, so here's how you do it. Take any ability score increase.
Way of doing it.
Yeah. So it gets like. This is one of those things that I'm sure some old heads, like some OG wargaming dungeon dwellers are going to be like, no, like dwarves are always constitutional. But they took care of that in a kind of elegant way of saying, like, we're not saying not do that if you don't want to. If you want to be a fucking thick dwarf, be a thick dwarf. That's fine. But here's other options.
Yeah. It's a good way to placate the people who are like, it's racist, and then the other people who are...
Oh, yeah, it goes both ways. So you can... It's just, take any ability score increase you gain in your race and apply it to... So it's basically, for example, if it was Con 2 Wisdom 1, you could do Int 2 Charisma 1. That's cool. So it's basically like you can just, if it's a 2-1 or if it's a 2, or if it's a 1-1-1, you just put them wherever you want. That's great.
That's perfect. I'm having fun with that one, I think.
Yeah, we're going to be using this for... I'm glad this has come out now, because we're going to be using this for Rime and the Frostman.
Perfect. It's perfect for what I want to do, because I want to play a half-orc monk, and that's going to make it so much better for getting the stats where they should be.
Yeah, super cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really great way to formalize the make a character your own sort of thing, but you don't have to.
Oh, hey, they have official sidekick shit, too.
Yep. Yeah. So now you can actually... You could check on Cletus to see how broken he is compared to actual rulings.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
Well, he doesn't hit anything anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right. He's balanced out by fate.
Yeah, maybe you look at this new sidekick shit and it fixes it, and he suddenly starts rolling good.
All right, guys, let's do a quick summary and we'll get into it.
All right. Episode 56, The Exile. The fight continues with the fiends as one of the Fapplestamp twins goes down to the psychic energies of the fiend general. The party takes out the rest of the devils with relative ease. Glimmer recognizes that the insignia on the fiend's armor is of his father's brigade, and Ilya hides herself quickly as to not be recognized by the two gnome twins. The Fapplestamps explain why they are down here in Avernus and about the town of Ghiri, where they live. They have a harvest of diamonds, as well as a strange parchment case that they stumbled upon on the body of a dead imp. The party recognizes the seal on the case to be of Bel the Archdevil. Aphelion opens the case and is able to resist the flesh-to-stone spell that was embedded in it. Inside seems to be a detailed schematic for some sort of heavy armor that would fully protect the wearer. The party agrees to escort the Fapplestamp twins back to their town for the price of the schematics, as well as 2 400 gold diamonds. The group follows the twins with no further events, while Aphelion tries to get any sort of information from Ilya, who seems to be very preoccupied. Arriving at the hidden village, the party proceeds into the main square, where Ilya sees her father emerge from one of the ramshackle homes alongside the captain of the guards, Ghiri Grimjaw. Aphelion disguises Ilya as the group gets out of their vehicles.
All right. That is where we is.
Right.
And goes over to the map where
neat.
Ilya, you now have a flippable token.
Oh shit!
So you can go in multi-sided.
Fancy.
Yeah, and
I can't see shit.
Open
Can't
your
see
eyes. Wait.
I have zoomed all the way out. There is no shit for me to. Oh, there. It was there for a moment.
Coming to view, Captain.
It was there for like a brief moment, and it's gone now.
The shit was there for a moment, and then it was flushed.
Right. So yeah, Ilya is now disguised. Basically, she's the you've gone inverted colors. You've inverted all the colors of your character. You're the night mode.
You want the Clark
I've got
out.
Yeah, your dark theme, Ilya.
Dark theme. Also, I'm pretty sure like half of the changes they've made to the UI on Roll20 recently have been specifically for dark theme.
Oh, that's cool.
Because like I used to like have to like highlight things to read them.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have their own actual dark theme yet, or is it just through third parties?
They don't.
It's just the third party, yeah.
Okay.
Which is your entire Chrome dark theme. So, yeah, so for everybody, Ilya now is disguised as still has the, tiefling or the horns, as well as, but different color hair, different color skin, color cloak. And now Eclipsis has her updated character art as well. As she is significantly more Dami.
Brass dragon.
Oh,
yeah, that too.
Wow.
Different takes.
Okay, so.
Oh man, are you ready for every NPC we come across to simp to you? Because it's gonna happen.
They will get fucked in all the ways.
Expand definition in dictionary.
Yep, I definitely see.
Hell.
Although, as we are approaching this town, the first thing Hamon was going to do is just take a survey looking around and see if he can try to place when and where this town may have come from. Stylized or architecture, things like that.
History check from you.
Where's my character sheet? I didn't open it yet.
From Late Edge Mountain, so about
Oh, down there, Cletus.
thousands.
Lonely Tuesday.
Blades Edge Mountain, close to Netherstorm, really close
14.
to a swamp.
Yeah.
I would say, like, I'm not going to provide like a lot of details, but I think you would start to recognize the architecture. You would understand kind of relatively what region this came from, recognizing that this is a Fey run village, Fey run town.
Okay. So nothing like weird.
Is tough to recognize though, mainly because of how basically it looks like, as I described before, this was a town or a city that was picked up, dropped about like 5 feet, and then everything kind of like, skewed over, kind of top.
The Legos broke.
Yeah. The Legos broke for sure. But as you look around, you can just pick out aspects of the town that are of like the cultural significance or the local architecture, but it's all odd. It's all off because everything has kind of been hodgepodged put together to be reassembled.
But at least I know it's most likely from Faerun and not some other plane that I would not be aware of.
Yes.
That was the main thing. Okay.
Exactly. So, you're approached by, as I named him, Captain Grimjaw. So he's a large, armored individual. Again, you can look and you see there are knights that are standing atop all of the buttresses, haphazard rock walls surround the main. Out of some of the more ramshackle windows, you can see some other faces of what look to be out as well. This is all very much, I would imagine, kind of like stumbling upon a mining town or a small village in like Tatooine, that where everybody's outfits and clothes are very scavenged together, not looking like they're starving at all. Actually, all of them look very healthy. All of them look surprisingly healthy, but everything about them looks, I don't want to call it rustic, but they're rugged. The armor looks similar to like Sonya's spiked
okay.
scrapper armor, that type of thing.
Clearly, like they're maintaining it as best they can.
Yeah, scavenged, put together, but still functioning. So, the main champion, Captain Grimjaw, walks up, gives a quick salute, and starts conversing with the Fapplestamp twin. And you can see another dwarf individual come out along with the captain. He just kind of walks forward, surveying the area, and he also goes up and starts talking with. You can hear them conversing back and forth as they start to explain what happened, how your party came through, rescued them as they were being pursued by fiends, and escorted. They decided that because you supported and saved their asses, that you would be good escorts to get them back here safely. One of the female Fapplestamp twin, she gets out of the mechanical bullet and goes back to like the trunk, opens it up, takes out the supplies of the diamonds and other kind of miscellaneous gems and jewels that they've found. Ella, she begins to show them to the dwarven individual. Gets out, pushes his glasses up on his face, and starts to examine them, holding some up to the dusky twilight of Avernus to try to see what their quality is. The large captain, after kind of assessing and hearing the situation from the gnomes, turns towards the group, takes his helmet off, and you can grizzled but handsome individual under there, a beard that looks like he tries to shave it to maintain it, but it's not, but it's kind of tough too. Basically wild man type of looking guy, very intense blue eyes. He looks over at the group. All right, the twins vouch for you, so guess you could stay in Ghiri for a bit. Business do you have though in Avernus?
Mostly getting out. But we're also here to help save a recent town that's been sucked down into this, quite frankly, awful place. El Terrell.
He nods.
I might call it a hellhole.
But sucked down into this hellhole.
That's a good one. I'm gonna write that down.
He nods in acknowledgement of that. Yeah. Noticed that came down here a few weeks ago. Poor fuckers. Right above the sticks. Gonna get sucked down and all the souls there converted to fuel. Or coins. Whatever it may be. Ironically, same situation for us, but a little bit more lucky. Seems that they were fated by some sort of... I don't know. It's like they're in a worse situation. We just popped here.
Just like that?
Do you have any indication why you might have been brought to hell? Or sure, you had some idea what happened.
Oh, absolutely. He literally turns his head and looks at over his shoulder at the dwarf, who is still examining the jewel. Back to your... His daughter. Well, adopted daughter. He did it.
How'd she manage that? That seems...
Why?
I'm side-eyeing at Ilya, but not looking very carefully.
During this conversation, Ilya's like doing her best to not make a target and hiding behind whatever she can.
Trying her best to look like she's not doing her best.
Exactly.
Some weird game theory shit going on here.
So, the guard, Captain Grimjob. We don't know how she did it. Some forbidden ritual was... Well, all I can say that it saved our asses from orcs and gnolls. Or orcs and goblins. I was going to say gnolls because I don't want them to be gnolls because they're sketty there, and we don't sketty. We don't want to immediately... no! And they're back, and then...
Regular no.
It did save us from the hordes of goblins and all. But at this price.
Straight from the fire pan into the fire.
Yep. Fuck to fucked. Put it bluntly. So,
does the village hold ill will for this daughter of his? For this choice?
Because she saved him and because he spoke up for her, said that she didn't know what she was doing, that she just wanted to save Ghiri. Spared her life, but exiled her. Not allowed to return to Ghiri as long as it.
Is that really sparing her, given the environment? Just broadly gesture.
Defend for herself. Sure of it.
Do you think she's? I kind of look towards the dwarf in the back, and then like lean in and whisper. Do you think she's still alive?
Champion, the captain just shrugs nonchalantly. Not sure. Don't really care. Not my problem anymore. As long as she doesn't return.
Fair enough.
That's doing a good job of that.
So your
Did
village,
you to come back when she faced trial or justice?
Scratches his beard. I haven't really thought of that. Didn't know if she would be so bold to come. If she's bold enough to return, then we'll see. Certainly would run her out of town.
Song, you're sincerely not connecting the dots. Yes, that would be the best thing.
Right. Well, I'm sure she had the best intentions for this town. And I feel it is probable that she still does, but how am I to know?
Indeed.
And what's your plan now? Like, you're just gonna live it out here in the sticks of Avernus, or you actively working on anything to get back?
They're not in the sticks. The sticks is that way.
No X.
Oh, gotcha.
Sticks, hold the edge.
Grimjaw looks to you all and he says, "We're relatively safe here. We're hidden. Not too hard to come by supplies. Apple stamps go out, get us gems and jewels. The rest of us here go out, trade, sometimes doing deals with local warlords or making our way to Mahadi's to barter and trade for goods there. But overall, we're making a living."
Well,
You can see in the distance that there is some forms of like weird farms and vegetation growing on like some of the rooftops. It seems that they've definitely figured out a way to survive down here and gain some sort of grow food. You actually hear some strange clucking, but the sounds of clucking that sounds a little bit off from around the corner.
Oh,
no, they're back.
You can definitely hear, you recognize them from when you've encountered them before. There's probably a pen of abyssal chickens around there as well.
Do we have to like run around the town and collect someone's abyssal cacos for them?
Yeah. Oh, that's a fucking jammer of a song. But yeah, they I mean, you look around and they seem to be doing all right for themselves. Aside from it looking like, a scrap, like a relative scrap heap, but
given their situation, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, as I said, they're all looking like they're rugged, but it's like a nomadic without them actually being on their roam type of thing.
Kind of look around again, just kind of taking how many individuals or residents can we see?
I mean, from what you can see in the size of this place, there's probably like this map, you like traveled into the interior square, right? So this map represents basically what is the center of the town. I'd say it's probably about, close to anywhere to like 100 people.
Okay, decent sized village.
Yeah,
then.
like a decent sized village. Enough that it would have, as I said last time, it's like enough that it should have attracted or could have attracted the attention of like an orc warband, and that they thought they would be able to take it over, and it wasn't like a highly defended big walled city and stuff.
I wonder if you'd all still be here today if this daughter had not done what she did.
There's a scoff from the captain as he says, "Hard to say. As you already mentioned, out of the frying pan into the fire, literally. But there are some regrets, I will admit. I don't know where she is today or what she was able to do and get up to, but I know Carmund motions over his shoulder to the dwarf. I know he still hopes that one day we'll be able to have her back and forgive her. He has a lot of explaining to do. There's a lot of debt to be paid.
Explaining, sure, I believe that, but you have not tried to explore any other way to try to return to the material plane? No one among you has any sort of arcane knowledge or work on this thing?
Some of us do, but it's a tough situation, you see, and we got... Not many of us have access to the components. It's quite the endeavor. Finally, you see that Carmund, the dwarf, finished up his dealings with the two gnome maid. And he walks forward and addresses you all. Oh, we've thought of many ways to try to get Ghiri back to the material plane, but it's a major town. It's magic beyond most of our means. And we're not about to make a deal with the devil to get us back. That would get us even further in the shithole.
Oh, I may not have to make a deal with the devil to do such a thing. I would say that our own time is very limited at the moment, but I see in your plight here, I feel moved to try to help rectify the situation in some way. I cannot abide seeing mortals slaving away in hell in this way. You have my word that I will try to help when I can, but for now, I think my help is limited. Our help is going to be limited.
Yeah, we have a pretty tight schedule to keep at this point.
But I said I do have some ideas how we can try to do these. So do not lose hope.
I have a really quick question.
Mm-hmm.
DM. When Flip kind of shifted to the bronze role, because I know that's the more like goody side of me versus evil side of me, did any piece of my alignment change?
I would say yes. You've definitely skewed more towards the good, but it's one of those things where it's like you're still getting used to it. It's like one of those, it's definitely something that's keep having this almost like an itch, right? Or a nervous tick.
Of chaos or of evil?
Of good, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a burning itch.
Awkward.
Nerd.
Gotta scratch that itch and make it go away.
There's
I gotta get a cat out of a tree.
Yeah, there's definitely a moment here where Ephlipsis, as you're listening to this tale about this town and stuff, you know, you get a twitch. Your eye kind of twitches. You get the urge to, like, man, I could totally call upon Bahamut, and maybe he could do something to help out here. Maybe I can go talk to Bernie.
Well, there was a piece of me that was like, would I give two shits? Like, because I'm like, usually the piece of me is just like, fuck it. Like, everyone's fucked anyway. Like, whatever.
No,
but I feel like this might...
You're definitely getting that back of your mind, you know, tiny angel on your shoulder feeling, I should give a shit.
Okay, good to know.
I think I've... Ooh, no, I'll hold on this till later. Never mind. I have a really dumb idea how to send these people home, and I love it.
We tried taking this.
So...
Call for Karen.
Two more individuals show themselves. Well, and they start to help unload the goods from the iron bullet, call it. And it's Ilya recognizes them, obviously, as Atmos and Alia. Or yeah, Alia? Oh, you would who basically, basically somebody that Ilya knows very, very well from.
Any familial
similarities? No.
Similarities? Okay.
No, they're definitely. And Ilya, or Neon, you can correct me if I'm. They do not look like they're obviously not dwarven. What race are they?
My assumption was Aragonasi.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so they're Aragonasi. Same with the other individual who was on Adelphi's ship, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, so these two Aragonasi, a little bit younger, come out and start to unload some of the goods, dragging some of the gems and diamonds back towards another. And as I said, Ilya recognizes them. Carmen looks over at the party and pushes his glasses up on his face again. Oh, well, you're more than welcome to stay here for, a bit if you need a place to rest, recharge. I don't know if we have the fuel for those buggies you got over there. Points over at the war machines.
We
got some food. If you don't mind basil chicken, it's a little bit tough, stringy, but does the body well.
We appreciate your hospitality.
Bring me the chickens.
Now, what I think I heard you say is bring me a lot of chicken. No, what I said was bring me all the chicken.
All the D8s, all the chicken.
Grimjaw,
every chicken you don't bring me, I will burn this village down.
Grimjaw smiles and he's like, I think I like your appetite. What's your name, by the way, big guy? Walks up to you, Sonya.
My name is Sonya. You can call me Sonya.
Ghiri Grimjaw. Captain of the guard here at Ghiri. Gives you the fucking predator Dylan like handshake type of thing. You just get the zoom in moment of the two flexing hard. Give me an athletics check.
Ooh, big flex.
Oh boy.
Channel divinity for this one.
I fucking would. That'd be super fucking funny.
I'm not afraid of this boy.
Oof.
Maybe I am. Oh no.
Oh no.
16.
Yeah.
We just watch as basically is you let go as he's kind of like not crushing your hand, but you watch as you can see like Sonya's fingers turning a little bit blue, and then Sonya, you're the one who notices this. Glimmer, you'll see it from your passive perception, but Ghiri Grimjaw just gives a little slight snide smile, kind of a sneer. Nothing that's like evil looking, but more of a ha, got him look.
Just that knowing smile.
Yeah, and
Let's
go of Sonya's hand, and Sonya's hand has that cartoon like crushed hand look to it. Like, oh
my god, those chickens must be amazing. Such strength from chicken.
Pure protein.
Oh no.
Abyssal protein wet.
Yeah. That's all we
Got
eat
milk,
here.
got milk prep, eat it every
Abyssal
day.
chicken, and up there on the rooftops, we got the, Avernus broccoli.
Yeah.
Whey powder.
Yeah.
Cook everything in demonic way.
Demonic ichor. No. So, what would you guys like to do? They're basically, the village, they allow you to park your cars there. The Captain Grimjaw indicates an occupied building that you guys can, sleep in if you want to. He also mentions that you're welcome to stay inside of your war machines if you want. Just keep them quiet and inside the walls for the time being. But yeah, it's your oyster right now.
I'm going to take advantage of whatever sitting space they've offered us to sit down and actually take a moment to unwind and work on my spellbook.
Okay.
For however long people want to hang out. I don't really have anything else to say for now.
I'm just gonna kind of like look around the town a little bit Not like walking around, just like from where I'm standing, essentially.
Okay.
And just kind of like take it in, see what I see.
Yeah, you see, some haphazard sort of slanted on askew towers with some knights, soldiers on top of them. Looking out over the cliff sides that are around here, nothing is really... They're not looking like terribly alert, but they're obviously doing their jobs. They all have weapons that are made from different pieces of metal and scrap put together. So like they have like a halberd that's some sort of... probably was once a piece of an infernal war machine that is welded / magically added to a long basic pipe type of thing. They're all very... It's all very Fallout-esque.
Yeah.
But as you look around, you can definitely see that there is... It takes some time for your eyes to adjust to the way that this village is laid out, but it's a pretty small village, but it definitely has, this main square. It's got shops. You can hear the sound of a blacksmith somewhere around one of the corners. There's the smell of something cooking now, even though you're not sure if it's appetizing or not from the scent of it. You can see multiple buildings that are in relatively good shape. Some of them are in worse shape, but they have doors. See light wisps of smoke coming out of some of them. You can now, after the kind of threat, I would say, has passed, you actually see some kids running around and chasing each other around. One of them chasing a chicken down an alleyway. And then they immediately emerge as the chicken chases them back out of the alleyway around the corner. Seem like they're fine, though.
Sule is Kakariko village.
Yeah, more or less. But yeah. And it's as more people start to move around and get back to their daily lives, it's a relatively colorful village of different races, colors, all that type of thing. Humans, you see elves, more gnomes, dwarves, halflings. Pretty much the gamut of your typical Faerun city. So, Moan, what you kind of assessed is, this is nothing that's like an exotic city per se.
Yeah, it's like Smallville, Faerun.
Right, but it's not like it's not going to be your like Nebraska Midwest type of village. But like this place definitely wasn't in Cholt or something.
Yeah, it's I'm getting this Springfield vibe, Simpsons style kind of a thing, but smaller.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I'd say the most unique race we see here is probably the Air Genasi.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. Most of the rest of the villagers are your, they are different, as I said, different colors, different types, different races, but for the most part, make up of the common race be in a city. You don't see any Dragonborn, you don't see any like Goliath, you don't of some more exotic, no Tabaxi, Aarakocra, like that.
By the way, just from where I can see right now with the lighting, this particular icon looks a little suspicious.
This dude?
Yeah. Because the way it's I have it blocked off. I'll just put it in Discord. It's pretty funny.
So it's...
Oh, he's hiding behind a
window. Yeah, no, looks like...
Dun, dun, dun.
That's what I'm seeing.
It looks like an anime splat,
he has
splash screen. Yeah, exactly.
Nani? As he looks out. Fucking snake alarm goes off. All right, Glimmer, what would you be doing in this situation? Anything?
I'd probably just be like walking around the town, like seeing what people are doing to kill the time. Like if they're not standing guard, like what are they doing with their time? They have a lot of it.
Right. As you walk around the town, see that there's stuff like a ramshackle library with what looks to be, a couple dozen books in there. There's a person in there just kind of talking. I'm imagining this is also, I know you said like Smallville / Springfield vibes, but also like imagine the beginning of Beauty and the Beast with like the small ideal countryside town, but everything is Fallout themed instead, where like the bookshop is just like the dude has like crazy goggles on and like leathers and things like that, and all the books are like missing their covers and everything is dusty and dirty, but everybody's happy Everybody's actually, relatively. It's not like everybody's in a dour or dire situation. Glimmer, as you're walking around observing, you see the library. You see that there's like a small school nearby with some kids getting taught. You can see that there's a blacksmith. There's a small farm on one side in the distance where, yes, there is definitely a bunch of abyssal broccoli being farmed, as well as abyssal lettuce and stuff like that. I would say it's hell lettuce and hell broccoli. Ain't gonna be broccoli and stuff like that.
Everything happens just be a little bit spicy, no matter what it is.
Broccoli be chaotic AF.
Yeah.
No, it's lawful because it's hell broccoli.
Well, I know we were just talking about abyssal broccoli.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Abyssal.
It would be killing the farmers. It'd be like it's just spawning tentacles and shit and trying to kill the farmers. So, but something interesting.
No, that's eldritch broccoli you're thinking of. God, don't get your plainer broccolis mixed up.
Get your warlock patron of chaotic broccoli.
Patron, the deep vegetarian. So something actually that's interesting though. You walk past the farm area. See, there's some people laboring, trying to till the kind of hard earth and harvesting some roughage, English potatoes. There, well, one of them you hear a cry of pain, and you look and you can see that one of them is like holding a hand. There's a deep gash across the hand. You can see that in digging in the earth, their shovel broke. They got like a nasty cut across their hand. Sit there,
how could you
at it. You can see the blood. Blood pouring from the wound. See little drips of it hitting the dry earth.
Terraforming going pretty well over there.
Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. It'll be better tomorrow.
The earth itself or your hand?
Oh, my hand.
What if it was better now? And I'll healing word.
Okay, so you healing word. You watch as the wound stitches itself up. Just the blood staunches. No more. Not even a light scar there. They flex their hands. They flex their fingers. Look at it and go, "Oh, that's really nice of you. You're the visitors who just came back with the twins, right?"
That's us. Heroes, they call us.
Oh, wait. Were you the... Kind of like squints at you. I heard of a grilled tiefling and a bunch of other folks that... Did you rob the Soul Train? Was that you?
Damn, word gets around.
Who's asking?
Bartholomew Blickums?
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 What an unfortunate surname.
I'll give him Bart.
I'll call you Blick. And be like, no, that wasn't us. I'll give him like a very telling wink.
He smiles.
And meanwhile, we have the train like parked in their front lawn.
I always keep forgetting that you basically like bring your evidence with you.
Oh yeah, no, we got that at a used car lot.
A police auction.
What's that you got there? Milkshake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight in the back. Yeah. No, that's like for you guys. The difference I think is probably like what you got there, and like Eclipsis would be like a knoll as she like looks down like skinny. There's just a fucking Soul Train in the background. Glimmer, he smiles at you and just says, "Well, thank you for the healing. We don't usually need that too much around here, but I appreciate it."
Surprising, 'cause it's coming awful handy. But I guess you're farmer type.
Oh no! It's more so just that I don't know. It's been this way since we arrived, so many years ago, after the incident, when her spell that she did put us here. Something went wonky. As long as we stay in the village every morning, our wounds and our don't. He says, sorry, the cat literally jumped on top of the computer. He says, every morning any wounds, superficial, not fatal, heal right back up, and well, it also seems that we've almost stopped aging.
How long have you been here? In years, do you think?
Tough to say. The passage of time kind of is all wonky now that we don't really see each other grow, and everything just kind of seems like a rerun.
That sounds awful boring.
We make do, though.
Man, sounds like living through a pandemic.
Yeah, like, wow, sounds really familiar.
Some of us leave, the Fapple stamps go out, they dig for gems and diamonds. That gets us, good stuff to trade with some of the other, either the nicer warlords. Deal with, I don't know if you've run into her, but Mad Maggie, Mahadi, sometimes even some of them make their way out to Red Ruth, all the way out in the Bone Brambles.
We have our contacts.
We make a life for ourselves here. It's until, well, God's blessed, but until we find a way to get this village back into the material plane, we gotta make do.
Understandable. And what are you growing there exactly? Does that potato have an arm, or?
Oh yeah. He takes the broken head of the shovel and just bonk smacks it as it was trying to crawl away. Yeah, they get a bit feisty sometimes if you let them grow for too long. There's like a perfect moment when they're ripe for the picking, or they actually can become mobile.
Note that down. I'll pretend to make a note.
Don't you just love when the bullshit your players come up with become canon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love it.
Yeah. I know, it's just dumb. It's great.
And he looks around and he says, well, if you're going to be here if you and your party's going to be here for dinner, well, we better rustle up a few more chickens and get some good vegetables, and we can give you guys a right feast. Show you what Ghiri's all about.
That would be most appreciated, Blick.
Sorry, I gotta... another one's getting away! And he runs after another
good
potato.
Picking.
Get over here, Tater! Damn it!
My taters are getting away! Okay, yeah, so he goes back. Goes back and chases after another. There's other laborers in the small field that they have here, as the quiet village goes about its daily life now.
I'd like to pick one of the vegetables or whatever it is growing here.
So actually, like find one in the ground still and pick it out.
Yep.
Yeah. Give me a nature check.
Oh God. Oh, okay.
Okay, good enough.
I only have a +5 in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bards.
Yeah, dude, I forgot bards are just good at everything.
You kind of observe and look at what everybody else is doing, and look at some of these little lumps in the ground here. You look at one that's kind of wiggling, but not too raucous. You down with your hand, or do you grab it with your hand? Do you take a sword?
I use a mage hand for this.
Okay. Mage hand digs through the tilled kind of dry earth here, and you pull out a potato with basically like one arm flexing on it. Gives you the middle finger. Tries to escape the mage, but it's not able to. Potato.
Oh, the eyes make it extra weird when it also has an arm. I'll just
a bunch of
bring it back to the group.
Okay, so you guys watch as Glimmer comes comes from around a corner of one of the alleyways, trailed by a mage hand that is holding the head of what looks to be a one-armed potato baby.
Who's hungry?
I'm good.
More neutral, but not what I was going for.
The square's been relatively cleared out now, as Carmond has gone back with the other two, Eric Ganassi, go back and sort through some of the gems, obviously trying to have some stuff they have to do with them. The Fapplestamp twins get to work on any sort of maintenance and repairs on the Iron Bullet, and the rest of the village just kind of goes about their daily life. Oh, hell yeah. I love that. Good meme. Okay. Hamon, would you be doing anything?
I'm just working on the spell book, I think. And you just tell me how many hours maybe I get to spend on it. But
sure.
I would just
call it
passively.
You could just call it. There's like 3 hours that pass at this time. You don't have to fill all of it out, but you're just sat on the running boards of the Uncrashable too. Just watching it. The village goes about its daily life. You can see that the knights patrol the watch or patrol along the watchtowers and the walls, kind of on like nothing that seems pretty regular. It's mainly just kind of superficial. They seem pretty protected, but they do have a pretty, as you kind of count them and watch them rotate around, they have a pretty, sufficient defense here. There's at least half a dozen. Yeah, maybe about a little under 10 knights that are around that you, not counting the captain. Oh,
right.
Yeah, Mr. Gastroy, or sorry, Mr. Aphelion, what would you like to be doing?
Did I see what direction the dwarf leader that I can't think of the name of?
Yeah,
the
Carmon?
dwarf guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Carmon.
It's interesting. It's like he's kind of has like a position of authority, but there doesn't seem to be any like true leader here. And I think Glimmer, you would definitely have noticed that this is definitely like co-op commune type of lifestyle living.
Mm-hmm. Where is the pot plants?
Oh yeah, that's in the grow house, but that's not on this map.
Given what I've seen of the potatoes, I don't know that you'd want to find it.
It's pot that makes you high from oxygen deprivation.
It's the frickin' plant from, was it Little Shop of Horrors?
Yes.
Smoke me, Seymour. Okay. Let's yeah, sorry, Aphelion, what would you, anything you'd like to be doing?
Yeah, I was just looking for where Carmon went. That's
okay. So, Aphelion, you can just ask around, and one of the villagers who's just going about his or her daily business points you in a house that's not really any different than the others. Ramshackle, lopsided, looks like it's been together, but it looks like it's maintained, has some love and care put into it. And outside you can see one of the Air Genasi on a chair made out of wood, sorting through what looks to be a small box of gems in the lap.
Yep.
Look up. A bit of a smile as you.
Before I head that way, once I'm pointed in that direction, I'm gonna go back and find Ilya and just be like, "Come with me, Janet."
Oh yeah, Janet.
And then Janet.
Yeah.
Oh, the second it was pointed out, Ilya took it upon herself to park the vehicles out of the way. And now she's just kind of hiding in them.
I was gonna say Ilio's doing like a 10 point parallel parking job on like
the Austin Powers turn around.
Yeah.
Right.
Gets the fucking train just like stuck in the alleyway. You guys all return to the vehicles and the train's like somehow upside down on its side. Just Ilias is there shrugging like, I don't even know how I did it.
So I go and find Ilya.
Sorry, it just GTA 5 physicsed itself up like you clipped into a building and it just went and just upside down. Okay, so you find Ilya.
You act like it wasn't on purpose.
Yep, you find Ilya in one of the vehicles, whether it be the Soul Train or the Golden Vice.
Will you come take a walk with me?
Why?
I just want to talk to you.
I believe we can have a perfectly good talk right here with, civilians out of the way.
I believe that's correct, but I have something I want to, just come with me.
Alright.
All right.
Okay.
And I will lead Ilya in the direction of Carmen's house. But
right.
just...
So as you're leading in that direction, Ilya, you've been in this village before, obviously. You've been in it when it was in its ramshackle form, and even after some repairs that were done over the years that you've been gone, you absolutely recognize you recognize the cobblestone. And we get one of those moments where you're walking kind of either behind or at the side of Aphelion, and we get that kind of flashback moment where all of a sudden the village is back to its normal form of what it was years and years and years ago, and you blink, it's back to the ramshackle, half destroyed form. Now, once again, we get another flashback of what would be, well, I'll just say, like, you pass by what looks to be a pile of rubble, and then we get that flash where it's actually back to its normal form of what was a bakery, and there's a bunch of baked goods, cupcakes, pastries, hot bread out on the windowsill, and you can just even remember the scent of that fresh baked bread. Then once again there's the as it's now back to just being a pile of rubble. Then up ahead of you, sorry, go ahead.
Ilya pauses as she stares at the rubble and just, like, not even paying attention if Aphelion was walking further or not, before just, where are we going?
I think there's someone we should talk to.
Ilya, even if he's playing coy and being obtuse about it, you know you've retraced these steps time and time again growing up here. You know exactly what neighborhood you're in. You know exactly what's around the corner. Exactly who.
And I don't know why I needed to go with you. Obviously, you have a goal in mind.
Yes, and that... Well, I think there's a chance for reparations to be made, and I think this is the way we start it. Don't you?
Who put you in charge of fixing my life?
That's a fair point, but I always feel like I have to help, you know? Doesn't matter who it is, just in general.
How about you focus on yourself? And I know my way around. I believe you kind of already understand this.
I do.
She turns the head back towards the vehicles.
Aphelion will shrug and just kind of explore a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. We just for a moment you watch as Ilya retraces her steps along very familiar cobblestone streets, strewn with here and there. Buildings she once recognized no longer there. Ironically, buildings that she probably recognizes being part of other buildings that are now built up. It is. Ilya, what's your mindset? What's the, is this just kind of numb? Is this wistful? I don't know. What would you say?
There's probably a lot of conflicting emotions. She would recognize somewhere, probably something she spent a long time with before realizing it's kind of her fault that it's no longer there.
Or at least, or even looks like, looks like it's been cobbled and bandaged. You recognize faces. You recognize faces, and I think there's something that's a little bit odd. Like, there's something off, Ilya. As you're walking through the streets, you notice and you can recognize faces of some of the villagers and stuff, and you recognize them almost. You get a uncanny valley sensation as you're walking through, because the village itself doesn't look like what you remembered growing up. It looks like kind of similar to what you remember when you were exiled and left. However, some of the villagers, maybe it's like the teacher at the school, or maybe it's the blacksmith working away at the anvil and the furnace. They look like maybe like 1 or 2 or even like a year older than you last remembered them, and you've been gone for quite some time.
She'd probably end up pausing somewhere and just kind of staring at a person without thinking about it.
Yeah. So you stop outside of the blacksmith's shop. He has that big kind of typical open yard, open air thing with like a light tin roof above it, and you just can hear the hammering of the hammer on the anvil as he seems to be repairing some armor that probably belongs to one of the knights. And looks up and he sees you outside of the little fenced area. Looks back down to his work, keeps working. Looks back up again, sees that you're still there. Can I help you? You've come into town with one of with that party with all the big cars and trucks.
It would probably take a minute for her to even realize he was talking to her before she kind of like jerks out of her her thoughts.
He waves. Hello, are you? Can you talk?
Sorry, I got a little distracted, I suppose.
Those machines are pretty impressive. You kind of gives a little bit of a flex. You need any repairing or anything like that? Haven't been able to work on one for a while, and the Fapplestamp twins don't let me touch the iron bullet at all. They say that my big human hands will just mess up with the gnomish engineering of it.
But she tries to keep herself calm, and just with the group I'm traveling with, things are kind of always dinged up. So I mean, you're welcome to take a look if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm quite interested. I've only seen them from afar. We don't get, as I said, not too many visitors. Keep isolated here. It's kind of hidden in this cliffs. But yeah, if you don't mind, I would love to take a look at them. There was one that was painted all gold, and one of them that looked like, I only heard rumors of it, but one that looked like the engine of the Soul Train. Wild. No, it's just an ostrich.
We call it a smoothie.
I mean, I would say, like, I won't give this guy like a full name or anything like that, but like, Ilya, you know this person. Like, you grew up in this town, probably had common items or something like that fixed by him. So we get another one of those like cool little flashback moments of like a younger Ilya with some sort of broken item, and this blacksmith offering to quickly mend it up and fix it. He hands it back to you. Maybe it was like a mirror, or it's like you accidentally bent a fork. Something as childish as that. Like you broke a utensil. And he just like really quickly like puts it in the furnace, brings it back out, hammers it flat, and fixes it and hands it. It cools it and then hands it over to you. And then there's just like that flashback on Ilya's face as vacantly staring at the blacksmith, who's kind of washed his hands and just, can I if you're headed back that way, I'd love to take a look at them.
At that point, she'd probably have like tears starting to well up, and when he kind of talks, she kind of like rubs her eyes, and of course, and then she would stop herself before like saying his name. I was like, of course, just follow me. I'll take you to them. She's kind of just out of it.
kind of oblivious to it, just more excited about the fact that he gets to go and look at these really cool war machines that he's only kind of heard about or seen driving off in the on scouting mission. So he just follows you back. So those who are still at the war machine see the disguised Ilya return. Probably I would say, like, I know Sonya's still there, even though Porkins is on call. Ephlipsis, you were like milling around that area along with Glimmer and Hamon, who's working on his spell books. But you see Ilya return with a kind of thicker looking individual, muscular guy with a blacksmithing apron on the front. He has a little bit longer hair, scruffy beard. The hair is tied up in a bun, top knot bun in the back. Scarred, muscular arms, blackened with soot, obviously working with his hands quite often. He walks forward, and you can see his eyes grow wide as he looks upon the Uncrashable 2, and then you see his face, like he's doing the Vince McMahon faces as he looks at the Uncrashable 2, and he's like, oh, and then he looks over at the Golden Vice, and he's just like, oh, and then he looks and sees the Soul Train parked behind that, and goes, whoa, and nearly falls over. And he starts to run towards them, and he just kind of like stops and contains himself, and he looks back to you, Ilya, and he's just like, can I get can I at least touch them? I want to.
Oh, yeah, please, excuse me while I find someone who, probably has a better inner knowledge of them than I. And she would kind of like excuse herself while keeping an eye on it, while going to find like Glimmer or Yamon.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, there's Hamon. You get bothered by as you're like concentrating. There's just like a loud thunk as you see a muscular blacksmithing individual on the outside of the Uncrashable as he just like thunk 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 thunk. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you in there. My bad. Sorry.
It's okay. You can continue on. I was just you broke my train of thought. I was about to finish up anyways. I'm gonna step out for some air.
Yeah, you just see it's just like you're scribing a spell, and you look down, and you just like spelled out like ham or something.
So yeah, I'll step out and just kind of watch him for a bit to figure out what he's up to.
He's just like doing the very like curious inspection of all the war machines. You can hear him talking under his breath as he's like looking at the transmission and looking at the bolts and the iron and noting. He's just like, oh, vernal iron. Oh, that makes so much sense. Yes. Okay. Just running his rough, work-worn hands over the exterior of this thing. If anything else, before long, there's a call from one of the knights, and you hear the Captain Grimjaw, as he comes around one of the corners. He's being followed by a bunch of the other knights who are carrying like tables and chairs and benches and that, as they begin to set up basically like a feasty area in the middle of the square here. And Ghiri Grimjaw, as gruff and tumble as he is, gives a smile, and he just says, we decided to make it a little bit more of a spectacle tonight. We don't get guests here too often, so it's going to be a proper feast. Ghiri hasn't had one of these in a while. And you saved the Fapplestamp twins, and I think that's worth celebrating. So hopefully you'll join us.
I mean, yeah, I need to know what these potatoes taste like. Of course we're going to join you.
All right. So at that point, those tables start to get set up in like one of the typical kind of like long table format, a la Oktoberfest style thing, as food and all kinds of goods start to get brought out. And before we take a quick break here, Ilya, is there any final kind of like vignette moment that you would like to have, or like a look on your face, or any final thought?
You just be kind of like watching the town square, remembering like festivals or celebrations that would happen.
You would definitely get the same type of, you watch with like the orange Avernus sun casting that weird light upon the entire scene, and then once again you just suddenly see the beautiful summer sunlight some sort of kind of like midsummer festival type of thing with wonderful food out on the table, flowers, garlands, and all that type of stuff. And another blink and a shake of your head, and you look back to the same type of happiness and cheer from the villagers and everybody that you know and that you grew up with, but just kind of with just that slight tinge and air of desperation, slight sadness to it.
She'd probably have as reminiscing, like tears in her eyes, but not like even noticing it.
Yeah, I think that's a great time for a quick break here, as that's the like parting shot of just that the single kind of tear finally escaping on her cheek as the dinner will be served, and then afterward we'll have a wonderful dinner and maybe some more conversations there. All right, take a quick break. Thank you for the good RP. We'll continue with more RP after this. So.
To ruin that moment, all I could imagine the table was the long spiral table from How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Hell yeah, that's not even ruining it. That's great. That table's so awesome.
That is great.
That table's the bomb. All right, quick 10-minute break, and we'll be back. Grab drinks, grab snacks.
Boy.
And hopefully your floors are okay, Porkins.
Man, there's like dumb stuff going on. Like this is probably it might go to like small claims court. We'll see.
Oh
wow,
shit! Hell
really
yeah,
annoying.
dude! Judge Judy up in this bitch. Let's go.
I will bring down the letter of the law.
I feel a little bad because it's like, one, we have to like get this guy's like a flooring expert. It's basically like CSI but for floors.
Ah, it's I know a guy, but for.
Yeah, basically, and then it's like we can't go after the selling agent. We have to go after like the old lady who sold it, or like who's that owner, because she believed like the word of like the realtor who had the contractors and like the contractor people who was just like probably like the realtor's like uncle or something, and like her cousin just like kind of showed up, like did some stuff, gave us a cell phone number, and now they're like ghosting us when we've been trying to get in contact with them about like, hey, more shit's not fixed. So it's like you're dicking us, but unfortunately, it's like legally it falls on the woman.
God, it's amazing how much shady shit there is when it comes to this sort of contractor.
That's the number one thing that we're worried about. Like, so we went just last thing here. We went and saw that house that would like offers were due the next day. We already knew that it would be like you're not gonna get this. Would never have an offer on the place. We just wanted to like look at it and see if this type of thing. The agent was like, yeah, it's a flip. So you have to be really careful about when they say new plumbing. Yeah, it might be new plumbing, but you don't know if it was done right.
Oh, for sure. That's like
I even looked and they're like new appliances, and I looked at the oven at the stove, and it was like nice gas burner stovetop. But I looked at like the labels or like the details of like which burner goes to which dial type of thing. And I could see that they were like slightly scratched and like worn off. I was just like, okay.
They bought a new refurbished oven or something, or
there's like rules about like you have to use like someone who's licensed, and I'm pretty sure the people they had do this were not licensed, and that's like a huge liability thing in the state of California. So it's like if we do go after this, like we should be fine, but it's just like this is a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to court's never. I mean, hopefully it would just end up being like court, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, we going to settle."
Yeah, because it's a couple grand, so it's like $3,000 or something for like a flooring job or something like that. So it's not like crazy for house scale of stuff, but it's like I don't want to pay that.
Yeah, that's still a big chunk to pay for someone else's mistake.
Yeah, I don't want to pay that either way.
Yeah.
All right, guys. 10-minute break, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, thank you guys for hanging out. Everybody who's here, more fun RP after this. Really enjoying this type of cool kind of. So 10 minutes, back on cinematic RP. Thank you guys for hanging out. BRB.
side. Heard about me, it's all lies. If you want good, change your mind, yeah. Don't want to intimidate, but more than just conversate. Don't want it to be too late, yeah. Know that I'm not usually your type. Darling, there's no need to be shy. See the curiosity in your eyes. Come a little closer, babe. I don't bite. You've been getting on my good side, and it's something that I can't hide, yeah. When I'm with you, I'm tongue-tied. I know you're not that dramatic, but I'm out of you, I'm an addict, and I can't get enough. And I know that I'm not usually your type. Darling, there's no need to be shy. See the curiosity in your eyes. Come a little closer, babe. I don't bite. let me think for a second now. Catch my breath. Yeah, I gotta slow down. Cause when you're near, everything that I planned just goes away. We said that we were gonna take it slow, move carefully, and give it time to grow. We said that we were gonna wait, but I just want it right now. I just want it right now.
All right, we're back in it. J-Dog, thank you for that follow. Well, this kind of run me. J-Dog, thank you for that follow. Appreciate it. Are we singing the cupcake song?
Yes.
You song.
Good song.
You said cupcake.
Classic.
Cupcake.
The bestest version of the cupcake song.
Is
Oh
there
my gosh,
more
it's
than
the
one
best.
version?
I mean, that's the meme version of like that's the one everybody has seen, but not actually singing.
I've returned.
Perfect timing. All right, so
Hey.
Yeah, there's like the little girl who actually sang it, and then there's like random cartoon videos, and then this chubby kid, which is the best version.
all right, so it's perfect that people have food and they're about to snack on it because we
Hell
return
yeah.
to the party as everybody is gathering around these long tables, long benches, and some very simple but good smelling food starts to gets brought in, and some people start to play some music, and you start to some people are singing and standing up on tables and toasting. They seem to have some sort of weird rudimentary, like very basic mead almost.
Oh hell yeah.
That's kind of like basically almost hell moonshine, to be honest. But halfling fun. Okay, so food's brought out. There is you see what looks to be a bunch of different kind of root vegetables, some hell potatoes, along with some hell carrots and all those types of things mixed together. And bowls of probably you now see is abyssal chicken thighs and like rotisserie abyssal chicken brought out. And people start pulling off legs from it. There's wings are cut off from it, all those types of things, and it's all just kind of communal type of food thing as people just start using their hands and eating.
I'm imagining the feast from Hook with Rufio.
Yeah, but make everything look more fucked up with like strange arms and legs on your potatoes and stuff like that.
It also implies that a food fight's going to start eventually.
Oh yeah.
No, and it's going to be the food fighting itself.
Dinner and a show.
Yeah, it's like the. Oh.
I am undercooked. Ah! The potato gets up and starts beating the shit out of the lettuce.
WWE Raw.
Literally raw.
WWE Undercooked.
My cabbages.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. But it's definitely an enjoyable dinner. Everybody's sitting down, long tables. You guys kind of have, little kids are running underneath the tables. A flipsis, you get, your leg gets bumped, and kind of we watch as a flipsis' face kind of goes wide as you feel a pull on your tail.
I mean, my immediate reaction is to turn around with my fist, like, just kind of like whack around, but
you spin around to see who is grabbing your tail, and luckily you miss as there's a little kid in kind of shoddy looking clothing who just has your tail in his hands kind of like looking up at you, terrified.
I turn my whack because I'm assuming my hand just goes over.
Yeah, you went over the head.
The head. Okay. And then I turn it into just like a pat on the head and be like, you can leave it. Leave it. Leave it. And I kind of talk to it the same way I do Sketty because I don't know how to interact with children.
You hear yeah, that's
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
Accurate.
You hear a low growl from the table as Sketty's head emerges from beneath the table and kind of like looks at the kid. The kid's eyes go wide and just drops your tail into the dirt, and then screams and runs off.
I look over to Sketty and go, what's his problem?
Skitty just looks at you. But yeah, there's a Sonya. This is like a protein feast for you. This is the perfect carbo/calorie load for like a lifter. And Sonya, like the captain, Captain Ghiri Grimjaw, of course, sits across the table from you, and is just like puts down with a thunk, very full platter of food. Looks over at your full platter of food, gives you a grin, and just like, yeah. That's what's up.
I'm gonna eat these chickens, and then we're gonna try again.
Oh, you're gonna give him another handshake thing again?
Like after I eat, I would take the opportunity to be like, you're right, this is the best fucking chicken, even if it doesn't taste that good. Just see if it's working.
This chicken has spice to it that you do not understand. Like Abyssal chicken probably is just like the demon ichor has been cooked out of it, but it's like cooking some, using hard alcohol in your recipes. Like the flavor remains, but the problems don't. So yeah, it's got this weird, like, I would almost probably equate it to, oh dude, speaking of
Szechuan.
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to say it's
That's
Szechuan.
what I've been thinking.
It's that numbing, yeah, it's that like numbing flavor in your mouth of like, what am I eating? Like, this is supposed to be spicy and weird, but it's not. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Sonya,
my tongue.
Yeah, my tongue. He
water tastes sweet.
He looks at you and just says, right, as much as Avernus has got some problems, being in hell and whatnot, it's Abyssal chicken's good for the muscles, along with those hellish potatoes. And he like flexes, and he'll give you the fucking handshake again. Are you gonna try to actually win it this time?
Yes.
Oh, he wasn't trying.
Real question before you roll that: is this gonna be before a long rest?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, because I don't know, maybe something goes down and we want to save my rolls, but I also kind of want to give you a little hedge
Your
here.
decision.
Listen, dude, I blew my 6th level spell to pimp out my car before we drove here. Do it.
If there's one thing that this party is good at, it's having their priorities straight. So
I'm gonna really hate this if it goes wrong, but yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm giving you a natty 20 for this one.
Okay.
But
Oh boy.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's be actually reasonable. I'll give you a 13, so that should give you an 18, correct?
For
Or would you rather
athletics,
roll?
it gives me a 21.
Okay, I think that's good. You want that? Otherwise, you can roll it.
It's up to Hamon. What
I have to interject it. Yeah.
So I think this is just 100% up to Hamon. You saw the look on Sonya's face during that last interaction of that handshake on the introduction. Sonya was dejected afterwards as he nursed his injured hand and his injured pride.
I didn't look at his, and I'm not going to look at it now to know what his thing is, so I'll say, yeah, I'll give you the 13. I hope that 21's enough.
Okay. So it's a 21. It's a 27.
yo,
Oh, fucking
Bro, come on, why? Can I roll to see what I would have rolled?
yes, do it.
Eh.
Okay.
well,
It's not as abysmal as last time, but it is another moment of just kind of like a grin of this guy. Doesn't crush your hand as much as last time, but you start to we watch as like there's the predator Dylan shake across the table, and then everybody's food platters and utensils start to vibrate as the two of them are just like and Sonya, your armor on your like forearm and your upper arm just starts to like vibrate and clank, and you're just like as this like the muscles are working against each other.
Hamon's carefully looking at the chicken that he's poking at. Like, he's not looking at this anymore.
I'd just like to point out that Hamon had the opportunity to 20, but opted against it because logically it just made no sense.
You know, I actually referred back
what happened.
I referred back to my personality trait for that one.
As
fair.
Basic bitch.
So Sonya, basically what happens is it's not that you are like I would say Sonya, you let go first. It's not like he like slams your fist down into the table or does something embarrassing or like your hand is hurt. You're just the first one. You just let go first.
I think if you're like, I reached down and be like, thinking like, oh man, this guy is pretty tough. And you're like, I gotta play this off. I'm gonna go down and just like, chicken. Let go.
Yeah. And he just gives you a nod. He's not trying to be too antagonistic. He's just trying to show that he's a strong boy, just as strong as you, if not stronger.
No doubt, baby, no doubt.
Yeah. And
big old flex off.
Yeah, there's just like in the background on the wall sitting there, you just see the avatar of Tempest just kind of like, all right, just kind of looking.
He's looking at the other guy with stars in his eyes.
No, this is absolutely a thing where that's the thing where like guys like, oh, I'm gonna go get the gym to get buff so women will notice me, and really it's just all the other buff dudes start noticing you instead. Nice pecs, bro. What's your tricep routine, bro?
Just admiring each other.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. At the table, Ilya, you're eating and having your meal probably, I would assume, fairly like silently, stuff like that. And a plate gets put down next to you with some sort of baked good dessert. Not as well as you remember it being made way back in the day, but Atmos, one of the Air Genasi, he like comes up next to you and gives you just kind of a head nod, puts down this plate of a hot dessert pastry, and smiles and just says, it's fresh out of the oven. Not often that we get visitors, so the baker kind of pulled out all the stops. Used some of the last good flour that we had. Enjoy! Kind of gives you a wave, Ilya, and starts to walk away.
She'd just be too locked up to respond.
Yep. Yeah, And yeah, just the dinner goes on. Glimmer, you're sitting across from, I think probably sitting across from the Fapplestamp twins, who are eating their food, and they have their heads are like level with the table, and then you watch as one of them takes a little like remote control, pushes a button, and then suddenly they're just like elevated up above the table.
That's a neat trick.
Gnomish engineering. Gnomish high chair. I'm not embarrassed about it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Nor should you be. You should put those in all sorts of taverns and restaurants.
It's a little bit awkward to wear. You gotta have it in your, in your back pocket. So, and sometimes,
are you wearing it right now?
You should have seen some of our prototypes of this. Yeah, did not go well when this would go off accidentally. Awkward situations, I'll tell you what.
It doesn't sound like the worst time.
No, it was all pretty funny. To be honest, it was... Yeah, well, we've perfected it now, so, if we ever, make our way back to the material plane, Fapplestamp twins, back in action. Gnomish high chairs, on the market. Along with a lot of other
fun stuff. Is a trademark I could get behind.
Yeah, Fapple stamp. Yeah, it's the stamp of approval you need. Fapple
Strong
stamp.
brand name.
We're workshopping phrases. Workshopping catchphrases, etc.
Got stamp.
Would you ever have them chant your name?
Fapple chant.
The Fapple stamp chant.
Fap.
No, but you're missing the stamp part of it. So like maybe there'd be like fap pull stamp. Fap pull stamp. I like that.
So Fap pole stamp? Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, it's like pop it.
And hopefully whoever's chanting doesn't get out of order and it sounds good still. Mr. Hamon, you got Churro at your feet, and he's got a bowl. He's voraciously eating a bowl of abyssal chicken.
Gonna eyeball him as I very meagerly poke through mine. It's not my favorite dish I've had, let's put it that way. And just, I guess, are we all sitting together, or are we kind of scattered around? What's the
I would say that you're, like, as you sat down, you were, like, looking for where to sit, and there was just that kind of, like, communal festival feel where, like, some of the villagers just, like, put a hand around your shoulder, and we're just like, oh, yeah, sit here, like, stuff like that. That's why everybody's all spread out, dispersed throughout the village crowd along these long tables.
I'd probably just be making small talk as best I can as an awkward wizard or with the locals around, but I'll keep an eye out for anyone who looks like they might know a little bit about magic, just as my preferred go-to small talk.
Yeah, I think you would find somebody who seems to be a little bit more wise.
Just closed my game. Okay. Come back into it.
The person that
blame the cat.
The person that you end up seeing is who was seen in like the library, or like the bookshop area. Kind of gives you the vibe of being some sort of at least novice in the magical arts. And you can see that this kind of middle-aged man is definitely kind of like looking at you, and he speaks up as you're having a conversation or finishing off a conversation with another villager, something mundane. Sorry to bother you, but I saw that you were. It looked like you were scribing in your book, doing something earlier. I couldn't help but notice. I'm the owner of the bookshop here in Ghiri, and got many scholars around here. Are you a scholar?
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, of course. In a way, I am a scholar. I was actually hoping to find to have a conversation with you some point tonight, anyway. So, happenstance to run into each other. How the fates. Wow. And I was. I have my spellbook right here. It is
a spellbook. We haven't seen one of those in our town in quite some time.
You don't have any practitioners of the arcane arts? Not even. As a novice, or.
It's something that's a little bit. He looks around left and right. Forbidden.
Is this related to what happened to this town in the first place?
Looks at you and just nods.
I understand.
After the incident, everybody was very wary of any sort of magic whatsoever. Anything that's any sort of high-level spells or anything that's too hard to comprehend. I mean, I know a cantrip or two. Snaps his fingers and mage hand appears, grabs a drink, and he drinks it.
Nice, yes.
Simple
things, very
useful. Mending, prestidigitation, mage hand, those types of things, but anything that's a little bit more risky. Ghiri, the captain doesn't take kindly to that type of stuff. Anything that's magical that the Fapplestamp twins find out there, or anybody comes across on their scouting missions, immediately gets sold off to Mahadi or Mad Maggie or any of those folks.
I understand his concern, I suppose, and to be fair, those little, as you say, tricks or whatever, they're more useful than almost anything else you will ever learn. So, do not feel bad.
It's quite.
Could you imagine if you had to actually pick up things with your hands all the time? Could you imagine having to do this? Look at these guys; they've never tried to do these things.
Right.
No, I can tell you have a little bit of flair for the arcane. You picked off my, my proclivities.
Mage Dar.
Yeah, Mage Dar is quite good. And you said you have the library here, yes? The bookstore?
Oh, yeah. But it's mostly just whatever books survived the accident.
Is he? I kind of want to insight him there, if that's possible. Does he seem like he's trying to cover that he might be holding something a little different, or in the sense that he's trying to protect it or hide it from
Give me
the town watch? Come on, 60.
Yeah, he's not hard to read. I think he's telling the truth. I think that there was enough fear after the incident happened that even those who were interested in the arcane or any sort of magical arts, they kind of gave in to the overall fear, I guess I would say, of some of the authority figures in the town that basically
makes sense. Time of crisis.
Fahrenheit 411, the books of magical properties.
I'll take that in after a bit. It's like, you know what? It's always the ones who can't do magic who try to bully us who can. I'll tell you what, if you do not mind, if you're up for this, I can show you a thing or two perhaps. Maybe give you an idea how you can try to start your own one of these. I kind of tap the spellbook.
He
my pleasure.
Looks back down to his food and like side eyes down the table at the Captain Grimjaw, who's voraciously eating in competition with Sonya, basically. Like both of them. You just see like some like as they're just like putting full like chicken legs in their mouth and just like throwing bones across the table.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Or just got our like bone buckets.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and I guess if I see him take that look over there, I'll say, here's another neat trick. I can make sure he does not watch anything we're about to do. And I will start and I will cast a message to Sonya, and I'll say it loud enough so he can hear me say it. I'll tell before I do it, watch my big friend over there. Watch him react. I was like, Sonya, whatever you do not let the captain lose. Or do not let the captain beat you at the eating contest. You must keep his attention.
Okay. Sonya.
Give it a thumbs up for the meeting.
Yeah, just wait. No, I have it's a favorited gif of mine. Thumbs up eating guy. Looks down the table. It's just like that's Sonya leaning back, like leaning back on the bench and just looks down at Hamon and just like, I got it.
And I'll look back to him and say, I think we got about 10-15 minutes at least before he even looks up. So if you want me to give you a little guidance, maybe where to start, I'd be happy to help. And I pull out one of the bottles of wine that I've been carrying from the fucking dusty crypt you fell into. I think that it takes a little bit of this to get going. So I'll happy to try to teach someone maybe the tricks of how to start maybe a first level spell, but in 15 minutes, whatever, just keep him entertained. And then during that, maybe try to get some more information while he's excited from him about the town or something.
Okay, cool. So first off, Sonya. You're now apparently in an eating contest with the captain.
I'm declared. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of just assumed he was beforehand.
I think it was an undeclared eating contest, but now like you basically like Sonya picks up the pace, and then Captain Grimjaw picks up the pace, and then you're just like double fisting like chicken legs, just like I'm like just doing like staring across the table at each other. All right, roll me a Constitution saving throw here.
Oh.
And are you going to make sure that he doesn't lose this?
It depends if I feel like this is beginning or later on. Because if it feels like he's about to lose, I will make sure he doesn't lose a future roll. But
no,
maybe
we're just gonna have this be one roll. So
okay, yes, this time I'm making you crit this. This is the mood's good, the wine's out. I'm saying fuck it.
Okay, great. So a crit with your con save, what would that be?
That'd be 22.
Plus your aura.
Yep.
He has a 26.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
I got the bad number.
All right, so
nice.
He's constitutional as well. But as you watch as like Hamon, you eye down the table as these two are just going at it like faces in their bowls, just nom 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 nom. And Sonya, you look across the table and you make eye contact with the captain, and you watch as he like puts one more bit of chicken in his mouth, and then he like puts
Sketty prepares himself.
Yeah, you watch as Captain Grimjaw, his face suddenly flushes, the color draining from it, as he reaches over for his helmet, and just throws up a bunch of chicken and vegetables and mead. Yes, exactly. And then, yes, Eclipsis, Sketty.
Sketty goes and starts like standing and like showering himself in it.
Gross.
And then licks it up. And
I
then
would say
uses his tongue and licks his whole face.
A little bit less graphic, but still Scooby-Doo. Will just and will do the whole like face lick thing and just
Scooby snacks.
And just sits there and watch as he's sitting there obediently, like wagging his little knoll tail as he looks at the helmet of the captain. Captain like,
God, that was me 3 days ago though.
Retches one more time, shakes his head and puts the helmet on the ground, and then we don't. The camera doesn't see it, but you definitely hear the. All right, so Hamon, you in this bookseller, you pour him a glass of your wine, and his eyes go wide, and he looks at it. It's like, oh, this is wine. We only have our bootleg moonshine that we make here at Ghiri. Cheers! He raises a glass to you.
Give him the cheers back. Clink him.
You look down the table at Sonya, who's now smiling wide, like big fucking shit-eating grin as he's continuing.
I think like a little like the flubber in my chin kind of gives a little like thumbs up, presses out from my chin.
Due to the part of Gaston's song where fucking whatever when I was young, I
chucking eggs. Yeah.
I trained for this shit. And yeah, we have a nice little kind of quick montage moment of Hamon and the bookseller as you kind of serendipitously take out your spell book and kind of go over, flip to one of the pages of like a low-level spell. Which spell are you going to teach him?
Oh, let's say something useful for him. Yeah, fireball. Oh man, I don't have too many good ones that won't be destructive. Oh no, I gotta go in.
Reliable one.
The other one I could say is actually protection from evil and good.
Cool. Is that
one's actually private? It's a level 1 spell.
Perfect. Yeah. So you go over it from him, and he just like nods, and he's just like, "This will be really useful." We don't get many. It's not often that any of the fiends find our village, but if and when they do, the guards sometimes get a little bit hurt and poisoned. Sometimes it's imps, sometimes it's spine devils, sometimes some demons jump the walls, but I can be of use now. This is great.
I always love to see a new student get excited at this. And do not let your studies end here, even if you have to do it in secret. You see the process. You may find some things in your bookstore that may have some information, and you seek out other sources. Keep adding to it.
Yeah, he looks down the table at the Fapple Snip. It's like, yeah. I think I'll look
son,
into it.
Where'd you find this?
And if you get experienced enough of this, and this may not be anytime
Thank you
soon,
for
and
that rating,
who knows what
buddy.
the future holds.
Appreciate
But
that.
I do have some ideas of how
Welcome,
I may be able
readers.
to help you all return to the material plane, back to home. And if things work out, you may be able to help me with such a thing. This will take some more experience, of course, but we'll use that as your motivation to keep working, if nothing else.
He smiles and raises a glass to you.
I raise it back.
All right.
It's just, this is more like Hamon finally having a moment in a very long time where he feels like he's back at the University of as like, TA or whatever the hell he was doing at the time. Is that same kind of comfort? Like this whole thing kind of triggers that comfortable festival.
And this is actually something that I would love for.
Tweed jacket out of nowhere.
Yeah, I would love for. Yeah, it gets a weird fucking wool sweater, like
elbow
his
pad
glasses at the end of his nose. No, but real talk.
Shirt.
Real talk. Hamon, this gives you you get a flashback to the halls of the college that the school that you attended, and kind of now seeing yourself in the shoes of the professors that were there, the teachers, and you think about for a moment, you're just like, what the hell is this? Like, this is the first time in a long time that you've had like a normal feeling here in Avernus, right? Like you've had areas where you've had times where you've had good meals that were kind of close to home, but the hospitality and the overall feeling and like vibe of this place, just like once again you're getting this weird uncanny valley thing where you're like, this is so close to like meals that I've had at villages, or this is so close to being back home. And I don't know, maybe there's something that is now kind of a dichotomy in Bone's brain of
there is.
There's
a big self-awareness, kind of like a splash of cold water in the face briefly during this whole moment, thinking like, well, going back, what have I been doing over the last month or so, and thinking about where I started, where I'm at now,
and what you're planning on possibly doing too.
Yes, and what that would mean. So there's absolutely, it awakens a little bit of a inner conflict for sure. I think this is a perfect situation to awaken that.
Yeah. All right. Glimmer, you see a group of musicians like playing some tunes.
Just gonna say.
Okay. You see a group of musicians playing some tunes, and it seems that it's time to shine.
I was actually gonna say I have something to do after. I think Aphelion hasn't said what he's doing yet over dinner, and I was gonna wait till after that.
All right, Aphelion, what are you up to?
I'm just kind of like weirdly. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't seem very into the festival. I'm kind of just there, like eating, drinking, and just kind of looking around and like.
I would say so. It's
Totally uncharacteristic.
No, I would say so. I get what you mean. It's like there's something where you can't quite get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is obviously a fun time. They're trying to show you hospitality. This you can obviously see that they're like carefree, happy. They may not be in the best place. Avernus is still hell, but at least they're making the best of it. But there's probably something in the back of your mind, Aphelion, that's like, I still have a mission to.
There's that, and just something feels off in general here. That just like.
It is. If nothing else, there is absolutely that uncanny valley combo of being in hell and having a festival.
Yeah,
make it feel off regardless.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the general like. There's more going on here. I don't know what it is. I feel like I should be getting to the bottom of it, but I feel like now is not the time, and I just need to bide my time.
Okay.
Kind of a thing.
You watch the overall. There's like 2 or 3 long tables that are just laid out here. All the villagers are having fun. You watch as you see Sonya and the captain, and Captain Grimjaw having their eating contest. The captain having booted and rallied goes back to cheersing Sonya, and now they're just kind of like drinking and having good kind of like talks together, swapping war stories, comparing their chins and whatnot. You look over your
chin
shoulder.
Exercises.
Yeah. You look over your shoulder and you can see a bunch of the village children are playing with Lulu as she's just kind of like flapping around and booting her little trunk. They're all like, one of the smaller children like jumps on her back and Lulu tries to give her a little like flying ride, and it's just they're like chasing Lulu around and playing with her. But yeah, there's something weird where it's like the sword at your side has that the sword at your side's not feeling wary. It's not feeling like there's something wrong, but there's just kind of like that pull, right? Where just giving you that vibe or giving you that feeling of there's like still work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird situation.
Yeah. Looking around, do I see anybody that seems to like not be as into the festivities? Like they kind of the same situation I'm in? Or am I kind of just alone in this?
You look over and you see Ilya. Who's not?
Well, yeah. I meant more outside.
You're alone together.
I would say no. Everybody's happy to see. Guests. Maybe there's one or two of the city guard, some of the knights who are, not eating at the table and are still on guard duty and on patrol that don't look as into it. But I don't think there's anybody who's looking like sulking off in the corner or something like that. No.
Gotcha. In that case, I probably will be that person, and I'm just gonna kind of leave the square and just kind of like wander the empty streets.
Wait, Philip, before you go, take this. I'll throw you a chicken leg.
One for the road.
Steady hops up and catches it because he knows that Aphelion is not gonna appreciate it.
1 sec. Acrobatics.
Yeah, contested.
Oh no!
Chicken to the
I don't know how to contest acrobatics for Sketty.
Just Dex for
Yes.
So it's a fumble. And then it's a fumble, and then Sketty's jaw. You hear the snap of Sketty's jaws as he's like.
Village John Madden chimes in.
Flip just shrugs. Sorry.
No, I don't think I've got
anything. Do you know this guy named Ceros? I heard stories about him. You remind me a lot of him.
So Sketty gets a hold of the abyssal chicken leg and scampers off and like.
Wait, I want that chicken leg.
Okay,
I have an idea.
Sketty's running off. Sketty's running off with it in his jaws to go hide beneath one of the cars.
Okay.
Yeah, if you get it now, it's gonna have Null drool all over it.
I cast banishment on him.
Okay.
Bitch, no, you don't.
Yes, I do. And then I pick up the chicken leg. I like wipe it off, and then I let it. And then I wait.
Yeah.
I got a bucket of this stuff. You guys know that, right?
Yeah, but
Level
this
4.
chicken is mine.
Okay, so
I cast counter spell.
Wait, where are you guys right now? I feel like this could be a hilarious.
I cast counter spell on her counter spell.
Okay, I hope you guys are counting these. Please be using these spell slots you dingus.
I am. Don't worry.
Good. All right. So there's in a literal like 10 seconds or less. There's a Sonya hucks a fucking chicken leg. Aphelion tries to reach out for it. There's a streak of fur and spit as Sketty jumps up into the air. Yeah! Like grabs it in his mouth. There's a snap of his fingers as Aphelion banishes Sketty. Flipsis looks up, waves her hand, tries to cancel the spell with his other hand. Aphelion.
No, I have another hand too.
But you already used your reaction to counter spell.
But you have to roll for counter spell because she cast at level 5.
Yeah, I know.
Cast at level 5?
Yes.
So that's
I really hope we don't fight anything soon.
This is when the bears break in.
Yeah, remind me.
This is the day Zariel shows up.
DC is 10.
Yeah, so it's DC.
Spellcasting ability check. Okay, so it's just it's 1d20 plus 5. It's just a charisma check.
Yeah, I don't
essentially,
see
but oh well.
Fail.
Okay, so there's just a moment
So
of
close.
like Sketty slowly starts to fade out of existence, and then there's the counterspell, and then you try to counterspell the counterspell.
Flip now has a vendetta against Aphelion.
There's a squeal of excitement from Sketty as he just goes. Yoip, 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 yoip.
There's a glare towards a Flipsis from Aphelion. Keep your mutton check, and then he's gonna walk away.
That's like 2
He
seconds.
has feelings, unlike someone.
There's a middle finger over the shoulder as Aphelion walks away.
As you flip your hand away from another piece of chicken at your hand.
Give a acrobatics or just a dexterity check at disadvantage.
Oh, what the heck?
Disadvantage? Okay.
Because your turn, yeah, you're fine. So hand up in the air, there's just like you flip off behind you.
I magic missile it out.
Stop it!
And just get showered in.
I counterspell the magic missile.
Jesus Christ. You guys look around, and everybody at the tables has stopped eating.
This is our food fight. This is.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is the food fight.
I also like the sheer amount of like gold spent to learn all of these spells and versus like the cheapness of all the chicken.
Yes.
This is a full-on brawl at like a family dinner over a
Yeah, we're just siblings.
What's the thing from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? He goes, it's a full-on 5-alarm family emergency.
Actually,
we're gonna
I have a question.
Danny fucking K.
Can I use shield on the chicken?
Yes.
Are you
Okay.
You're
In that case-
leaving
in
the
that case-
party. You're leaving the party
magic
to
missile.
spend this
Yeah.
many. To
Shield
spend
is self-only.
these spells.
So okay, here we
She
go.
lets
So
you
this is what
though.
happens. So here's the series of events. After I understand because this is gonna be cinematic and hilarious as fuck. So Sketty runs off. Aphelion angrily storms out and curses and insults Sketty, calls him a mutt, flips off a Flipsis. Sonya, a piece of chicken.
Time out.
A piece of chicken.
Sketty takes mutt as a compliment.
Yes, he does. Sonya, chicken in mouth. You huck another piece of chicken at Aphelion, who immediately reaction shields it. You watch as the chicken bounces off the invisible force.
No. I catch the chicken. I
He
shield the
wants
magic
to
missile.
shield the magic missile.
Okay, cool. Yeah, reaction again, shielding the magic missile. So chicken
Yeah.
in hand. Then all of a sudden, the magic missiles, which Flipsis angrily vendetta with a.
There are 3 of
vindictively-
them.
Yeah,
Just
so
to let you
magic
know.
missile breaks. Magic missile just. Shield just
Shield
eliminates
cancels it.
magic
Yep.
missiles. Exactly what's happening right now. So as Aphelion walks around the corner,
That's Ilya.
taking around, yeah, as Aphelion walks around the corner, taking that like anime bite of his chicken as he disappears.
I'm gonna mind spike him.
Jesus
No, I'm
Christ,
not.
no, stop.
I'm kidding. I'm
We're
not.
done. I'm gone.
I'm kidding.
Ramon's gonna
kidding.
look over.
There's a moment of jazz music stops as everybody okay, and I think this is actually now the perfect time as Glimmer, you look and you see just like the band on the stage is just like as you just like in a 30-second period of time, just like fucking spells were just like zoom, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it looks
Sonya,
like a fucking Harry Potter fight.
yeah, Sonya, you look across the table as you actually look and see that Captain Grimjaw is kind of almost like pushed himself back and has his hand at his hip, at his greatsword, his hand reaching to his back where his greatsword is sheathed, and there's kind of a bit of tension there. Everybody's kind of looking at each other oddly.
Kids, right?
Glimmer.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
Buddy? You gonna hunt more chicken?
Glimmer's up on the stage. He's like plugging his fiddle into the amp, or like. Yeah, I'll put the sending stone microphone that's connected to the back of the Uncrashable into the fiddle. And I'll play some bluegrass remix.
Okay, give me a performance check.
All right, because it's important, I'm going to use my inspiration.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
enough.
Perfectly balanced.
2 6s.
2 6s perfectly balanced. It's and like the music that was being played before was passable at best. It was all-star band, and you go into it and you start your performance. It's nothing that blows everybody. You're okay. So what it is, Glimmer, is you're not proud of it. It's not. It's not your best. But
Yeah, but
to
they've
folks,
been depraved.
oh yeah, for these folks, they're just like, you immediately get like a bra thrown at your face.
All right. On top of it,
It was flips. I'm trying to get the party going. Fangirling hard.
all right. On top of it, I'm gonna pump my my class ability, enthralling performance,
Hell yeah.
and I'm going to attempt to charm the Grimjaw dude,
Yep.
the dwarf dude, the twins, Is there anyone else who like stood out to us as important? Can we get one more? So we'll get Blick the farmer for fun.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they all need to make a wisdom saving throw or be charmed. And if they fail, they do not know that they were attempted to be charmed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
Okay. I'll have that team first. Oh, this best save.
DC 18? Yeah, 18.
Okay, so the mage's save.
Okay, that's fine.
Like a farmer. Doink. It was a 2.
Oh. Wisdom of the potatoes.
Potato. Yeah.
Simple,
He's
man.
You just see him.
Clay of the West.
Right. You see him stand up on top of the table and he's just clapping his hands, just like He's into it. Mr. Carmond. He gets an 18.
Okay.
And the champion, or captain, he fails.
Hey, you got one.
So with a mouthful of chicken and a half-eaten chicken in one hand, he stands up, one leg up on the table, Captain Morgan style. He just pumps his fist in the air, chicken in hand. Just spitting food everywhere. Just like, rock on!
Oh, God.
The chicken.
So after that, I will come back to the bench, probably like near Sonya, seeing that he was the only one with like stars in his eyes. And just kind of like looking up to him after like the high of performing and be like, I've been thinking about how blessed you all are to be here. Like, right, you're like a warrior, right? You've all stopped aging, your wounds are healed after every fight. You're gonna go back to the normal material plane with twice the knowledge and experience of every other fighter your age. And Jesus, what has the chicken done to your arms? And like, just like trying to plant the seeds of like a change in perception.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Right, so you're talking to the captain?
Yes, seeing that he's the only one who is like fangirling.
Your farmer friend is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh God, he's gonna be absolutely like the fan from Oblivion who follows you around everywhere.
He's just in the background. He's just in the background, like.
Just simping for Glimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look at him too and be like, and what about you? Like, how boring would it have been to grow potatoes your whole life? Like, just regular ass potatoes. You're gonna go back with so much more farming knowledge?
Well, if we ever make it back.
Of course you will. You've made it this far.
Grimjaw looks to you, Glimmer, is just like, your performance was amazing, and you're right. If we ever do make it back, it's gonna be really wild. He has a moment of just kind of contemplation, I would say, kind of like jaw slack, chicken falls out of it into the bowl. Fuck. Avernus is pretty shitty. We are in hell, but
how exciting was a tiny farm town before, right? Like, it wasn't crazy. I'm sure it was great and it had its own charms, but imagine how great it's gonna be when you go back.
It would be good. But we're gonna leave some stuff behind. I don't know if you've noticed, but well, maybe you haven't. I don't know. Something's fucky with the town ever since we came here. Whatever spell that girl used, the side effects linger. We barely age. Any sort of superficial wound or anything like that heals overnight.
And that's an incredible gift.
But that'll be gone, right? If
Perhaps, but you'll still have been lucky to have received it in the first place.
Guess you're
How many millions go on without that sort of benefit?
Yeah, you watch as he's like the captain who's stoic and serious and in an eating competition before is now just got that kind of like wistful look across his face. Yeah, you're right. We've done okay for ourselves here. It's so weird. A single song can just put everything in perspective.
Yeah, it's weird how that just happens normally, right? Yeah.
Glimmer is the best worst liar.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking puts a big meaty arm around your shoulder. Just the weight of his armor in his arm just fucking presses upon you. Nearly fall over.
Strength of 7.
He just
take
fucking
it very well.
brings you in like a big kind of like crushing hug.
Mm-hmm.
You're great. That fiddle was beautiful. Nothing I've ever heard.
It was alright.
Reminds me of. You're right. Maybe it isn't so bad down here. Maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna go back to every warrior you come across. You're gonna have a story that top whatever it is. Orcs, goblins. Who hasn't fought these things? You're gonna come back and you're gonna wipe the floor with them.
You fucked orcs?
We fought so much more down here. Fiends have got so much more over orcs and goblins. You know what? You're right. It was a learning experience, and if we ever go back, fuck it. We'll be in a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Gone through literal hell. Cheers.
Yeah.
He raises
I'll
the
drink to
glass
that.
Yeah.
No, this will be loud enough that even across the table,
yeah,
I could hear all
everybody
that.
will notice
Okay.
that for sure because the music actually isn't really like playing much anymore. The rest of the band is like getting their position back up there. And yeah, Ilya, you definitely would hear that from the captain.
During the food fight, Ilya actually would have kind of flown off to have her own contemplation.
Okay. So sitting up, where would you go? Like,
how the fuck did I end up with these guys?
Yeah. Well, okay. So Ilya, where do you find yourself? Like up on one of the walls or like one of the ramparts, like overlooking the festival?
Probably a bit of ways. Familiar buildings, kind of overlooking stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe close enough to hear the music, but not really the commotion afterwards.
Right. So yeah, the music still plays. You see Glimmer's performance, and then you watch as like Glimmer and the Captain Grimjaw kind of have a conversation, get all chummy, and you see them having you'd probably notice definitely the captain's demeanor shifts from the usual stoic seriousness that he carries to a more contemplative and almost like vulnerable look that you've only probably like seen once or twice before, maybe when like when something happened in the old times, or you were transporting like something with his family or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you within 120 feet of the festival area? Or did you go further away than that?
I'm not good with distance.
I'd imagine, like, to see the place still, you'd be within 120 feet, probably.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, because I think after hearing the captain mention the blessings of the spell, which I had not heard about until now, Moan would go ahead and cast a message to you, hoping you were in range, because I do not see you, and say, Ilya, what sort of spell did you exactly cast to cast this? You can reply to this message.
You do know you don't have to end every message with that, yes?
It's a formality. You can reply to this message.
she kind of like cusses in Dwarven in her head. I don't remember the specifics. Why do you ask?
Send him one more message. We should have a more in-depth conversation about this because you did something that is beyond what I expected, and it may be useful for some. It may be useful for our own plans.
You may respond to this message.
I was waiting for it.
No, I don't have enough words left to use that anyways, so.
Well, messages and
words. It leaves a nice little
over and out.
Yep.
I don't think message is words. I think it's just it has to fit in 6 seconds.
Oh, I thought this was 25 words. It's sending this 25 words?
That's sending, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, still 6 seconds is pretty quick, so.
Yeah.
But I'll just leave that as a further conversation then, because the message is not a good way to ham out during the feast.
She doesn't reply to that one.
All right, so overlooking the festival, Ilya, is there anything else that you would like to do before the kind of night ends?
Not specifically. She's kind of just sitting up there, picking at the dessert and kind of trying to enjoy it in her own way.
Cool. Right. So the rest of the party does their raucous festivities. Sonya continuing to munch and eat. Eclipse is watching, probably feeding Sketty scraps of her food. Lulu and Shuro are entertaining the children in the village. And things start to wind down, I would say. Most of the villagers head back into their homes, go to sleep, turn in for the night. Music kind of slows down and gets more mellow, a bit less raucous. Captain Grimjaw salutes Sonya, finishes his beer, moonshine mead. Fortunately, I still had to patrol for the night. Good, it's been good meeting you, Sonya. You have fist, like a kind of, forearm, master forearm bonk.
Would reciprocate, but yeah, maybe like that, and then we like kind of lean it in. Where I come from, we do this and lean in and like bump his chin with mine.
Nods. I like these traditions. This is good. We'll see you in the morning.
It's not gay if the lips don't touch.
Just the chins.
Just the chins.
He heads off to go and do his patrol. The only folks remaining at the table are one of the Fapplestamp twins, the one who didn't, go unconscious and almost die earlier on in the day, and Carmund, the dwarf, and one of the Ergenot twins. A few other folks are either asleep at the table, because obviously the night is winding down. Carmund drinks a big gulp of glass and it's not often that we get to have a large dinner like this. Maybe once every 5-6 moons we have an occasion for it. When the Fapplestamps bring back a harvest of some exceptional gems, or when we repel off some fiendish invaders. But it's a different occasion. All are heroes outright, if I understand as such. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, you understand that correctly.
Gestures towards the soul train. I've been Ghiri has been in hell long enough, in Avernus long enough that I recognize the soul train when it's parked in our front yard. We've heard the rumors that a group of adventurers succeeded in heisting that train, and that fucko, Smiler, messed up and didn't even get a cut of it. Shit was empty. But
he got what he felt was his fair share.
Oh, aye. But I will. Cannot hide it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm in the presence of some seasoned adventurers.
Oh, I was gonna say gods, but yeah.
Oh, nah. Not gods. Nah. Hey,
I mean, it's not the wrong word.
Not yet, at least.
Those were the famous last words of when Keyleth was. We're pretty much gods, right?
But it's not coming out of our mouth.
But yeah, he takes another swig of his drink, looks at you, Glimmer, and then kind of like looks at Eclipsis, and sniffs. You two, you remind me of my daughter. It's got to be the horns. You don't see them too often here. What happened to that other one? The darker skinned one. She's quiet and doesn't talk much.
Yeah, we have a few looking over like to Felion's empty seat and Ilya's empty seat. Like we have some brooding members.
Contemplative. Contemplative is the correct word.
He's not here, so brooding is the correct word.
Oh, I understand that. My daughter, she also that type.
So,
I don't think either of us should remind you of your daughter, other than the horns. So that's a purely superficial.
Yeah, a little bit.
Trait.
If she were to come back, you said you're not sure if she'd face justice or trial?
Well, looking at how you were able to, influence our captain tonight,
I mean, I just spoke with him. I just reminded him of what I was seeing, I suppose.
You softened his heart. See it get all mushy.
Sometimes the energy of a night can just do that. It's nothing new.
Yeah, it'll break at midnight.
He'll wake up in the morning as the same, just grumpy old self, I'm sure. But who knows?
Well, I mean, broke me heart to have to agree to exile her. My Ilya. Real strain. And I do wish that they somehow could make it work. He could return. It's tough. It's right tough. But as I say,
I'm sure when you do get the chance to see her and speak to her again, I'm sure you'll handle it correctly.
I feel like there's a moment in Flip's eyes that's just like, what? and because like she just 100% has not been, like just like fuck it, like should I care? Nah, not really. Like I don't, just kind of that the entire time, and then this whole thing like. And I'm hoping Glimmer would like catch it out of the corner of his eye, because I feel like all of a sudden I'd be like, whoa! And then I imagine he just reacts like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like drawing attention away from you.
Yeah. but I look over at Sketty. Did you know?
Sketty just looks back up at you and is just like.
Okay, well at least I wasn't the one.
No. That translates from Noel to, of course, you dumbass.
God damn it!
Oh, classic sassy Sketty.
Little subtitles on the screen. Yeah.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean Eclipsis understands that she was the only one.
I still say, oh good, at least I wasn't the only one. I don't understand Noel.
Ah,
All right. Well, so yeah, Carmen lets out a kind of wistful sigh and stares down at his cup.
Carmen, let me tell you.
Would that
uh,
be interwisdom?
What?
Just all of that, connecting those dots. Would it be interwisdom?
It wouldn't be anything.
Yeah.
It was explained point blank. So no need
So-
to incite it.
So my no, I'm not going to. It's just I have a 0 intelligence.
Well, then that's why it took so long.
That's why I was trying to explain away the sense that is made. I have a 5 charisma and a 0 intelligence.
Mhm.
Exactly. All right, Glimmer, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, tell Camlin? Carmond. Like, I'm an OG when it comes to daddy issues, and you still have time to fix it. If she's still out there, I'm sure she'd be happy to make amends.
Yeah, he drinks. I hope to someday make it up there. I hope she can forgive me. Her own father agreeing to the exile. It was that or death. I looks to you, Glenn. Like it was. I had no other choice.
Sorry to hear that. And I'll like kind of awkwardly like bring him into like a side hug. Like, you'll do better. You'll get him next time.
mission failed. We'll
Like,
get him next
not
time.
really knowing what to do, but also be like, I know what to do. Or like, I know what should happen. I don't know how to do it.
Can't force them. You can just coax them along.
Yeah.
So, at this point, you an awkward side hug and both kind of separate after that.
I watched that interaction and I'm just like, barkeep.
Somebody wakes up from behind the bar, which is basically a bunch of barrels stacked up, and just walks over and pours a drink.
No, for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes, please. This Glur's like awkwardly breaking that encounter.
You get poured more drinks, Glimmer. And then up on the wall, Ilya, you see that awkward hug between Glimmer and Carmen, your father. And it's, I guess, like, don't understand. You obviously can't tell what they're talking about, but man, everything's so weird right now.
Just to myself, I was like, why is Glimmer getting so touchy with people?
Glimmer is just gonna hug everyone in the town before we leave.
It's been so long since I've been in a town of people I could charm.
He's that kind of drunk. He just gets like really touchy-feely.
You want a massage? I'll give him a massage. So yeah, Ilya, you watch as kind of the night starts to wind down. You sit there kind of contemplating, thinking about this, looking from this like vantage point on top of this building, looking over the town that you grew up in. So different now than it used to be. But what goes through your mind as the festivities of the night sort of slow down and off?
Probably just a lot of like memories from the town, but also starting to relate it back to her quote-unquote duty with Adelphi, and how much being here and helping would affect that.
Meaning being here in the town, helping the but like basically
Like, first off, like taking her away from the ship, first off, but then second off, like how much she would be quote-unquote interfering with things, although it's kind of a leap of logic since she already did.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting thoughts that go through your mind there. I mean, there is something where I think you would mull over it and kind of realize that this town of your town of Ghiri has been so hidden from most of the folks in Avernus that it wouldn't be missed. It's kind of a gray area, right? Village that has remained hidden for feels like years now, and I think the only big thing that would that if you somehow were able to reverse what you did here in the village, return it to the material plane, some magic or interference from some celestial interference or whatever it may be. If you left with it, then that would probably change the balance of
it. And with those thoughts and seeing everyone kind of retiring, she'd finally make her way back to the cars, kind of waiting for the group to reassemble.
So, Aphelion, making your way back, chewing on that piece of abyssal chicken, making your way through the streets. You hear the festivities getting quieter and quieter. Is there anything that you would want to have done before the evening?
No, just like a lot of thinking. I'd probably just be like on top of the soul train, just laying, like looking at the evening, the twilight sky, because it's not night.
Right.
So yeah, just like looking up at the twilight sky, just kind of like thinking.
Yeah, you're on your back, hands behind your head, finishing off that last piece of chicken. That's when you see it, descending through that twilight sky cloud cover. A airship.
Oh, shit.
Glimmer's dad?
Yes.
We just led him to the wrong place.
And now they're gonna say, roll initiative, and we spent all our spell slots on
business.
Yeah, I was like, we.
So
It was important business.
Oh, side note, I absolutely would have told that book,
importance.
that book or whatever, the bookstore guy. I would have told him, yeah, that's not how you waste spell slots. When I point out what happened over there.
Hey, all of those were well-used spell slots.
Very. I
100% agree. So Aphelion, your eyes go wide as you see that small kind of frigate, basically the Corvette the flying Corvette, I would call it, airship, descend out of the clouds. You hear the thrum of the engine, where you see it as it comes out of the clouds. You sit up, your eyes wide. Ilya, you're like as you're getting up off of the ramparts where you are to head back to the cars, all of a sudden, like your head snaps up, driving. Then Glimmer, as you're finishing off your last glass of mead, you just instinctively head snaps to the side. You look up, and descending from the clouds is your father's air.
Fuck.
As the shadow of it.
I threw a party while my parents were gone.
Everybody clear out!
They came back up.
So as the shadow of Rashad's his Corvette air, his sleek looking thing starts to shadow flips the festival grounds. You see Carmon's eyes, the dwarf's eyes, grow wide as he scatters. You hear screams from people as they retreat back into their houses. As the thing, you hear the sound of soft music that was playing as the night was dying down is now completely eclipsed by the drum of the basically big fucking diesel engine of the the supercharged soul engine of this airship as it you hear like bells being rung as knights are going to going to the walls, their weapons drawn, and see Captain Grimjaw run past you, slamming his helmet on top of his head and swearing as some of the barf.
Yeah, like, oh, there's still vomit.
I'm pretty sure that helmet is clean as a fucking whistle.
Oh yeah, from Sketty, for sure.
100%.
Still stinks of he just curses under his breath that it smells like Knoll spit.
Yeah, I was
Elliot
like, it just
flies
smells
up to
like
the ship.
dog breath.
Oh, Ilya, you fly up to the ship?
That's funny because I was, as soon as I get a chance to speak,
right.
say that Aphelion does that as well.
So the last thing we see before we break for the night is both Aphelion, his angelic wings spread out, the fucking whatever 15-foot wingspan that he fucking has, just as he launches off the top of the Soul Train, and then you see Ilya spread her wings, rocket up towards the airship. That's where we'll pick up next time. Once again, Rashad arrives.
Dude, like, so next episode has
collide.
I was gonna fucking say that, you motherfucker.
What was that?
The next episode's gonna be called Daddy Issues Collide. It's gotta be it.
It's just daddy issues.
It's like it's the Captain Planet of daddy issues.
Oh no. It's like, by our powers combined, we will make all of our kids feel awkward. And all their friends.
I am a failed maturity test.
That's where we'll end for the night, because obviously we're not gonna whatever's gonna happen with.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be pretty long. Sorry for the late start.
No, that wasn't a late start. We were fine.
Well, it was like 15 minutes or so.
No, it was literally
That's
normal.
8 o'clock is like we're gonna start the stream, and whenever we get to it. Yeah,
I guess. For me, I felt like I literally transitioned within like 10 seconds from heavy work to cracking beer and sitting down for game. So it felt like I was running late because of that.
Cool.
And I'm hoping that. Oh, but actually, this Thursday we got
Storm King's Thunder.
Tyranny?
Or not Tyranny of Dragons. I don't know why I keep
that,
going back to Storm King's
I
Thunder.
was like, wait.
Back in time. So so that'll be Thursday. The question, I guess, is next week, with it being Thanksgiving, but also with there being almost nothing going on for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
what are people's plans there? Because I don't.
Thanksgiving.
What was that?
Oh, I have stuff with Kate on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. I think we should rearrange.
Yeah, we can probably do a Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I could do Tuesday.
I could do any days. I'm taking the whole day or the whole week off next week, so I can do whenever.
Gotcha.
I could do a third session if we want to feel really spicy.
Wednesday could be cool. Obviously, even if like we're not going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stuff will be happening.
Shadowlands.
So, oh yeah, fuck, that comes out next week. Oh,
that comes out Monday afternoon next week, West Coast time. Yeah, it's weird. It's like 3 p.m. on Monday. It's a really weird launch time.
Huh.
I don't know. Yeah, go figure. I'm sure it won't be playable until at least Tuesday.
I'm gonna close out this. I'm gonna close out the stream, and then I'm actually gonna stick around in chat if people want to. Because I wanted to talk about Hearthstone.
Oh yeah, fucking Hearthstone stuff.
Okay.
I have already made a combo rogue with no cards over 3 mana.
That sounds okay. I'm gonna sign off of the stream. Good stuff tonight. Really fun roleplay session again. I feel like we're doing alternating between like intense roleplay from doing like the Mahadi Asmodeus like sessions to like combat with the Fapple stamps to then now this entire RP session. But this was a lot of fun.
It was cathartic as a player and as a character. Like I feel like it was fun for both those reasons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a cool place. And you know what? Like big props to Neon for bringing this character in and literally writing this. Like I know Neon, you didn't write out this entire thing. I ad-libbed a bit here, but you put down the foundation to have like a really interesting kind of interaction with the town. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You planned a hell of a party.
Nice.
I just wanted to say one last thing before we all went to bed for the night. Sonya would stay up late with his sewing machine trying to make new shirts for these kids in their terrible clothes.
Oh.
They'd all be like Mickey Mouse logos of Sonya's face on them, basically.
Oh God. Oh, good guy, Sonya.
Oh jeez.
It's Sonya brand jeans.
It's like the like in third world countries where they have like the championship shirts of the wrong teams that lost.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say, I mean, this is basically like Sonya making his Lacoste brand, but like Sonya's.
A cost?
A cost. Yeah. All right,
Gross.
guys. Excellent stuff. Fun little thing, and I love. Once again, I know Neon, you gave me the fucking flipping yodel boy gif. But it was I do appreciate the fact that we're still dancing around the fact that there's just like this cool like role play tension in the air of obviously like this entire town doesn't Ilya has been here the entire time. I love that. Like I actually absolutely love the fact that you've been observing and watching this entire scenario with just like from there. And I mean, props to the role of 26 of the disguise, because this wouldn't have been able to happen without that. Right?
that was a nuts roll.
Yeah, and because I was actually rolling behind the scenes. I admittedly was rolling like insight for I mean, I absolutely rolled insight for Carmen. Like I was like, I wonder if he would be able to do it, but like no, there was no way. Like you would have to like natty crit it.
I love it when a good roll makes the entire entire arc possible.
The way.
Yeah.
Fun
set.
Loved it.
Fun session.
Fucking 26.
So yeah, so next time obviously Glimmer, it's gonna be back on you again to have a bit of to deal with Dad. But it's also gonna be oddly with Ilya and Aphelion rocketing up to the airship to start things off. So we'll deal with that there. But all right, I'm gonna sign off on the stream, but then I'm gonna come back and do some chatty bang bang.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Those who were here, if you did enjoy the stream, drop that follow. We do play D&D every Tuesday for Avernus. We'll be soon transitioning to Rime of the Frost Maiden in the. Oh my god, that is purring like an absolute. Oh, a potato hula girl dashboard. Okay, I'll have to remember that. I'll have to remember that. I'm gonna. Nah, you can't. It doesn't pick it up. Okay. I'm ScuzzNugget. If you did enjoy the stream, drop that follow. We play D&D on Tuesdays. Host our boy Gastroy on Thursdays when we play either his campaign with Tyranny of Dragons or Neon Pulse's campaign with her Sins campaign, which we're playing on Thursdays as well. I'm going to be playing a shit ton of World of Warcraft as Shadowland comes out. That will be sporadically on the other nights of the week starting at 9 p.m. Again, ScuzzNugget, the GM. My wife, here, Derpy Gecko, playing Eclipsis, the less chaotic tiefling. We had Lunacy, yeah, less evil tiefling. We have Wabugi, our golden boy, playing Glimmer, the golden tiefling. We've had Porkins playing Muscle Man Sonya. We have Knuckle Smash playing Hamon Iberico, our wizard. Destroy playing Aphelion, and Neon Pulse playing Ilya Oakbane as she has returned to her town here. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful evening and hanging out with us. We will be back at some. Bye, guys.